veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la. 'Cause I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new...
Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. Good morning to all of you. It is 5:13 a.m. Las Vegas time. I appreciate you all finding the time to join me this particular morning. Currently, we have 10 people following the show, 4 on YouTube, the rest on X. I appreciate you all. Wherever you're following the show, please kindly do us a favor, drop a like on the video, and also do follow our X account. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. The game ended Heidenheim 0, Chelse 2. We will review that game, talk about important moments in the game, players, performances. But before that, we'll start with news hunting, address some of the items we have out there. Not too many, not so much is happening that concerns our beloved club. Yep, and hopefully, as we are still on news hunting, we'll have more panelists join the show so you can get diversified opinion and not just hear from me alone. So that's, by the way, thank you, and thank you once again for joining me. We have just one person with a comment in the comment section, and more importantly, we'll also cover the manager's press conference. See what he has to say with our upcoming game against Aston Villa. Maya Fowler, the lap to Chelsea, according to Onstein. I haven't seen anything like that, but I'll check. But if you can send me the link, I don't know. You are on X, aren't you? If you're on X, do send me that. I haven't seen that myself. Let me see if I can find it. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. David Onsen. How do you spell his name again? Okay. Okay, there you go. Let's see if he says anything about that. Liam the Lab only joined Ipswich in July, leading up. But leading clubs are already looking at him for summer. If form continues, Ipswich now may lose 21-year-old amid big 6 interest. Okay. Chelsea FC, Manchester United also tracking him. Man City FC can buy back if they want to. There are also Aston Villa FC, Liverpool FC, Newcastle United FC, Tottenham FC. A lot of clubs are interested in signing him, but I don't think we need him. But then again, that is just my opinion anyway. Yeah, but keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go along where we have my bro here. A big up to me there. Olua luck on me. Why do I find it difficult pronouncing your name correctly, Bon? But nice to see you, my bro. I appreciate you. I'll just go with Tamidaya saying hello to Nehe there. And remember the press conference, I think, I don't know if it has already started. We'll also go look at it to see what we can get from there. 1 second here. I'm going to go to the presentation window as soon as I can. I need to fix this. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We're working with this particular window here. Okay, I did already 5:13 a.m. 1 second, people. Let me do this. We have to beg for likes as usual. We're not a big account yet, so we still do beg for likes. But I'll do that in a bit. What do we have here? The presentation window. I'll go there. And I want to, even before we start previewing, reviewing the game proper. Interesting. The performance of Philip Jorgensen, he was just brilliant on the day. And I'm saying this. I've said this before. He has that Petr Cech, die hard attitude, or what would be the most correct term to describe his fearlessness. He can puts his way, doesn't hesitate to come for the ball irrespective of whether there's a chance he gets injured, and something like that. But yeah, I do like him. He's an excellent goalkeeper. He's fearless. He's good on the ball. Doesn't panic, actually. Cold eyes on the ball, actually, sometimes, to a concerning extent. But I like that. I think he will eventually become our number one. And he proves why people are preaching for him to be starting over Robert Sanchez in the Premier League. But nice to see you, my bro. And the Bible script, Siaka, South Africa. Hello, guys. Nice result yesterday. But let's start by talking about Philip Jorgensen. What do you make of his performance yesterday? I think he was just brilliant. We'll talk more about him. But yeah, that's one of the things, highlights, items that we have lined up to discuss, independently of the match preview itself. Because, yeah, it does make sense that we do that and give him his flowers, like some people would say. But yeah, I like him. And he's just 22. I think, if anything, we've had this conversation before. The only thing that Robert Sanchez has over him is experience, and the other stuff we've discussed before at length. How Robert Sanchez, I think, his masters how Enzo Fernandez wants his goalkeepers to apply themselves on the pitch. To be more specific, how he positionally, how he wants them to apply themselves on the pitch. I think he hasn't quite. I haven't seen him do that and do it effectively, but I'd still take him over Robert Sanchez. The other stuff, the other factor that I talked about for me is just fancy nonsense, in all honesty. But let's hear your thoughts uh, um, on Philip Jorgensen, how well he did in that game. And do you think the manager should immediately drop Robert Sanchez in our next Premier League game against Aston Villa and start Philip Jorgensen? This says Philip Jorgensen's tally of 11 saves was the most by any Chelsea goalkeeper in any game, in any competition, in up to Joe's database dating back to 2003. Wow. He was just brilliant on the day, in my opinion. I I wouldn't argue otherwise, and if anybody argues otherwise, then it's simple. They do have a agenda against the kid. The kid is good. I don't think we should be looking to sign another goalkeeper. I think eventually it will be this kid, him, and either Petrovic and Pendas. But Pendas is too young. Chances are, the club would still want him to go out on loan and continue developing, just like we did with Thibaut Courtois. Penda, I think he's taller than the rest of our goalkeepers. But I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. But this guy, he was just brilliant, and I'm happy we signed him. And I don't think we signed him with the purpose of him playing second fiddle to Robert Sanchez. I think we signed him to eventually become the number one. And Sanchez, I believe he's just the manager's just giving him a fair chance, in my opinion. But yeah, Philip Jorgensen at 22. Correct me if I'm misquoting his age. I think, yeah, he's the most again he's the most equipped to be our number one. And if you go by numbers, his numbers compared to that of Robert Sanchez for 23-24, there are aspects where Robert Sanchez did better than him, but in terms of shot stopping, he did beat Robert Sanchez. And up close, you can see that he's better on the ball than Robert Sanchez. A better distribution, too, in my opinion. But Dante, big up to you. Constantine Dunn, the captain of the house. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Dante, this particular, I hope you're recovering well, more importantly. Sorry, before I forget. this particular not a report really, but yeah, statistical presentation maybe, but the numbers aren't there. It says just more like highlights or a brief of it. Says Philip Jorgensen's a tally of 11 saves was the most by any Chelsea goalkeeper in any game or in any competition in up to Joe's database dating back to 2003. Wow. Um, but if you watch the game, you'd know that beyond the numbers, because what if they're shooting? So if they were shooting straight at him and he was catching them, but if that wasn't the case, he was brilliant at the day. Dante, let's hear what you make of that report.
Yeah, big up, coach. Big up,
Big up.
everyone in the chat. I'm doing well, thank you. Recovering slowly, getting better and better every day. So I'm good. Hopefully, should be up and moving about.
Excellent news. So you say that you played full 90 minutes next time, or we sell you.
Yes, I need to go see a specialist like Reece James, and then we'll make a decision. Yeah, look, Jorgensen, had an amazing game, man of the match, very well deserved. He kept us in the game, to be honest. They pressured us quite a lot, and he made the saves at very crucial times, right when they were pressing to get back in the game. If they scored, it could have been a different result. So he did amazingly well. Like you said, not all the shots were just straight at him easy. Some were, but a majority of them were, he just pulled up great saves. I keep saying he's got quicker reactions, he's got quicker reflexes, he gets down quicker than Robert Sanchez on the ball. You saw how calm he is on the ball. And this game showed you that more than ever, I think, because Heidenheim did have that full press, and they were pressing us pretty much all game. And they had a lot of players forward in that area to press us. And he was just cool and calm every time on the ball. You never thought that, oh no, he's going to make a mistake, or he's going to misplace a pass, or very just he's knocking on the door.
I would say he's knocked down the door already, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's all he can do is knock on the door.
All right, it looks like we've lost Dante until he connects to his a better network. Right now, he looks like he's still using his Walmart. Dante is still using his Walmart internet connection. All right, we've lost him. There's no connection at all. We're not going to be able to hear him even if he's still speaking. I think he will recognize that himself. He will see the signal of his connection. So Philip Jorgensen, what a goalkeeper he is, and let's see what Chelsea fans are saying on that particular. I'd call it a presentation, not a report in my opinion. It could be called a report too, because it's a report on his performance, a record that he's broken. Dante, go ahead if you're back.
Yeah, sorry, not sure what happened there.
The Walmart thing. Yeah, we know.
No, I got kicked out of the actual system. It said EV Mux error. I don't know what happened.
Down to your connection. Something wrong with the system. You disconnected before it kicked you out. But go ahead. You want to blame it on the system? But go ahead.
All right, yeah, but it's never done that before. That's the first time it's done that. That was a bit weird, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Like I was saying, I'm not sure what you heard last, but he's knocking on the door and he's very close, and all he can do is put these performances in and put pressure on the coach and everyone.
Wouldn't you say he's knocked down the door already, Dante?
Look, he's knocking on the door. After this performance, he's probably knocked the door down, but it's different. Yeah, like I said with Maresca, he sees Sanchez, he's backing him, and he's basically one yellow card away or one error away from Jorgensen starting. So this just puts that pressure on, and that's what you want to see. You might see Sanchez have a man of the match performance against Aston Villa because of the pressure as well. So it could go both ways. So, but of course, I would like to see Jorgensen start, of course, but I don't think so yet. But I think he's very close.
Have you ever seen Jorgensen misplace any of his passes, like close by, like the ones one can categorize as errors? I
Just
can't
one.
remember any, but
Just
he's
one.
missed his, you could say, distribution. In some cases, he's a human being. His passes, at least the long one, on occasions he's missed his target. He's a human being. That happens, but I haven't seen him make. Maybe I missed it. I haven't seen him make errors that
Yeah.
one could categorize as, you could say, dangerous errors that could lead to us conceding. I don't remember that.
No, not really. There was one against Newcastle. That's the only one I can remember. But that's it, really. The rest, he's been very, very assured. And the thing is, he's got a left foot and a right foot, where Robert Sanchez is a left footer and he's got a left foot pretty much only. His right foot is secondary, so that helps a lot. That helps a lot for him when he can turn. He can turn left. He can turn right. Robert Sanchez is limited in that because of that reason. So yeah, and that's why specifically we went for a goalkeeper like this, and Maresca had a big say in that. He wanted someone who can play with both his feet and can turn left, right, back, whatever. And that's why he's much better on the ball, way, way better than Sanchez on the actual ball. Yeah,
Let's let's talk
the balls,
about.
the balls are good,
I,
coach. The balls are good.
One of the things I like the most about him is he's fearless. And I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
we've had goalkeepers again after Peter Cech, who throws his way again, puts his body on the line to just he finds a way to stop the ball from entering the net. I think this guy he's fearless too. I
he
think
is.
he's
Yeah, I've
fearless.
seen that as well. Yeah,
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 and
I've definitely seen that as well.
that's something that Sanchez doesn't have. Sanchez is a sort of goalkeeper at close range. When the opposition shoots, he just does something like that. You could see a bit of slight. If you pay attention, you could see that
He
slightly.
hesitates.
At the same time, he was fearing for his life or something to that effect. But I
Yeah,
think this guy is fearless.
yeah. Sanchez definitely hesitates and flinches at that last second.
Yeah,
But
flinch is that thing
yeah,
that gives it away that he wasn't fully committed to stop that ball from going inside the net, into the net. But go ahead.
exactly. Yeah. So that's definitely another big point as well. Definitely seen that quite a bit. Jorgensen throws himself, no problems. I've seen Sanchez do it too, but on too many other occasions he hesitates and, like I said, flinches. He just hesitates and freezes at that moment. And
But yeah, we've seen
you
him
saw
put
a
his
lot of those goals
body
that
on
he
the line
conceded
too.
because of that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
We
more
have,
often
we
than
have, yeah.
not, he flinches and doesn't fully commit.
Again, it's up to that IQ. I keep saying it. He freezes a lot of times in those occasions, and that's cost us goals and errors. So I have not seen Jorgensen freeze yet like that. I have not seen that at all from him.
No, I don't remember. In my opinion. So let's look at what we have here, and I remember I mean what you've mentioned as an error against Newcastle United. I don't think it was his fault really.
He misplaced the pass, one of the short
Did he
passes.
misplace it? Didn't the ball get to Renato Viega? Was that the one you were talking about?
I can't remember exactly. I just know he misplaced the short pass, and it wasn't very good. That's the first time I saw him misplace a
Yeah.
pass.
If
Um,
anything, I think the list would be that he didn't quite get to the person, but had the individual made a move towards the ball, that wouldn't have. I don't think it makes sense to count that as an error. But I'll find it and look at it again. But go ahead
yeah.
with what you were saying.
Yeah, I can recall that one. Yeah, a couple of shaky moments against Newcastle. That was probably the only game a little bit. Yesterday he had one blocked. He tried to clear it, and they were really on him, and they blocked it. If you remember that one, I don't know if you remember that one. That wasn't really his fault. It was the pass back to him, or he was very under pressure, so he had to basically hit it first time, and they blocked. One of the forwards blocked the clearance. But yeah, that wasn't really his fault either.
Mm. All right, thank you so much for that. Let's see what Chelsea fans has to say. That's a new method now. We see a report, then we get to see our Chelsea fans' opinion. Santiago is always under this posts making his opinion known. Sanchez would have considered 2 out of those 11 from Jorgensen. Do you agree, Danta? Do you think otherwise?
Mm, A lot of them are pretty good. Maybe one, not two. I'll probably say he'll definitely concede one goal from that. Yes, because I think the reflexes and how quick he got down in a couple of them, I don't think Sanchez would have been able to do that because that's one of his weaknesses, getting down. Because he's so tall, obviously, it's harder for him to get down much quicker, and that's much easier
Hmm.
for Jorgensen to do. And I think probably one of those, yeah, he would have definitely conceded one goal.
All right. And this Mohammed Saeed is saying bring back the Sissi from first team Salbadia. Sheila, I don't agree. If you understand, I know no disrespect to you, but in my opinion, no. Badia Sheila is a much better player, and he's still very young for the Sissi at 27 right now, right? Let me check how old is Axel the Sissi.
Yeah, 26, I think 27.
26, going 27. So at his age, he should be much better.
Oh, look, he
Yeah,
was the worst defender on the field by far yesterday.
he was what?
He was the worst defender on the field by far yesterday, Axel.
Yeah. So Badiashile is a much better player. Badiashile reads the game very well under pressure, but Badiashile, it doesn't panic. But in the case of the Sassi, which was one of the points we knew was going to be a huge problem for him, Dante. If you remember, we did have that conversation.
We did.
That under the slightest of pressures, he makes primary school mistakes, and that's not acceptable given how experienced he is. If he has space enough to take his time to do whatever he wants with the ball, in most cases, he does well. But under pressure, he panics. Go ahead, Dante, if you wanted to say something.
Yeah, and you saw that yesterday against Heidenheim, not a very good team, and because they pressed from the front hard, he was always under pressure. He made mistakes after mistake. So exactly what we said. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd rather Badiashile. In this case, he got injured, was out for a while. Then came back and wasn't the same. It took him a while, and he did show good form towards the end of last season, actually. And now he's showing good form again. I think Badiashile, you just need to show him that you trust him, and then he'll be fine. So extra rice is saying, so why is he not Maresca's first choice? Surely he's proven his worth. I don't know why. I don't know. I've seen people argue you don't just chop and change goalkeepers like that. But my response to
Again,
that argument is
yeah.
this: it's really that simple. Goalkeeper errors can be the difference between you achieving your aim at the end of the season and you falling short of achieving your aim. I don't know if you have anything to say about that, Dante.
Yeah, 100%. But I think I can answer that question now that Maresca made a couple of comments after the game that I played close attention to.
Let's hear your opinion, or
Yeah,
maybe
so
your
look,
agenda.
I think it's definitely a communication thing. I think Jorgensen is a bit quiet, and I have noticed that. And yeah, he is a young
Does he
kid.
speak English? Actually, I can't
He does
remember
speaks
watching his
very well
interview.
English, but I'm talking about communication on field, as in being
Oh, being vocal, communicating with
being
his
vocal,
defensive line.
being yeah. And Maresca said that in one of the interviews I saw after the game. He said, basically said communication is one probably thing that pretty much has held him back a little bit. And to me, that told a lot. And I can see that in games. He doesn't really yell at his defenders. And I think this is why Maresca wanted to bet him in, basically, get used to his guys. He's a young kid as well. Yeah, so he's a very young. So you have to have it in you, and you have to earn that respect to yell at your defenders and keep him on toe every game, especially when they're much older than you. So yeah, I think that's the reason why he's kept him out. I think communication. He wants him to work on his communication on the field to be a bit more vocal and to direct his defenders if they're out of position or something. He wants them. He wants them to be basically, work together, and for him to be not as shy, because I've noticed that a little bit. Sometimes he can be a bit shy, and yeah, not surprised for a young keeper. Like I said, it's not a surprise, and that I think that's why he's been waiting for him to really get comfortable and really get to know his players and be a bit more vocal, and that will happen with time, obviously. And I think I've seen it slowly happen. Yesterday, it happened a lot more yesterday, so I think yeah, that's a good sign. But I think that was the main
Here's the
reason
thing,
why.
though, Dante. In my opinion, that's a no-brainer issue. If the manager, if it's a better shot stopper, he's better on the ball. I mean, that's a no-brainer issue.
It is, but a detail like that for
That's
Maresca,
not a no-brainer issue, so to speak.
yeah, I think a detail like that, he probably saw that when he came in, Jorgensen. Let's forget, not he never preseason, he came late. I think he probably saw him very quiet, not a bit nervous, not connecting, not getting with the guys that well in training. They didn't really connect, and if you saw that, he's giving him time. He gave him time to settle in, get to know everyone, and earn that respect and earn that basically to know each other, so he can actually direct and yell and communicate. So I think that is the reason. This is the first time I heard Maresca say something about it, and I picked it up straight away, and I realized that's 100% the reason.
So probably his time will come. But how soon? You could say that's not something that's difficult to solve. But you did say he did a lot of that yesterday, which means he's paying attention. He's learning.
He did a lot of that, and he did quite a bit of coming out of the box, like you said, playing like as a
Yeah, that one he's improved on in that aspect.
yes, and that's again down to confidence, being knowing his defenders very well, being on the same page. That has helped as well. So I see it going better and better. Yesterday, I saw a lot more of the communication, and I think that's why it's no coincidence that Maresca talked about that after the game in the press conference. It's no coincidence at all. It's linked. He saw it and he brought it up, basically a little tiny message that's saying this is why he really wasn't considered at the, because Sanchez has been there, been there, done that in the Premier League, been with this team for a couple of years now. Big difference. So for me, that's what I took from that 100%. I think that's the reason.
Mm. And here, a princess is saying, and Maresca will say, it's not enough for him to start ahead of Sanchez. I think a lot of us think it's enough. He's done enough to be starting ahead of Sanchez in the Premier League. On the rise, this start looks unreal. He really deserved the clean sheet. Kepa Clastimo, this belongs not be a Chelsea fan. Okay. Incredible says who? Let's see what else this guy has to say here. Incredible performance. I am happy because Jorgensen will give Sanchez a tough competition. At this point, you could, I mean, it'd be right to say, yeah, he's just a competition for Sanchez until the manager, you could say, decides, yeah, he's done enough to be starting over Sanchez in the Premier League. So that's it. Let's enough of the comment responses from the fans there. We'll try
Yeah, Kirk.
and go. We'll do a bit more of news hunting. Go ahead. Were you saying something?
Yeah, and like I said earlier, it can go the other way. Sanchez can pick up his game like crazy in the next game because he's so under pressure. He'll feel that pressure. He'll see this everywhere. It was on the back of the newspapers. It's on every social media, everywhere he looks, that Jorgensen should be starting. He's better than him.
Yeah, he'd be paying attention.
100%, and that could also help the team. It could help Sanchez, and he could turn into a world beater in the next few games because of it. So either way, I think it's a positive. Either way, Jorgensen gets in, or Sanchez becomes all of a sudden, rises to the occasion. So
Yeah, either way, win a W for us. Okay, let's see what people has to say before we move on to the next topic here. Benoit Bertashile always performs. I disagree. He was good. He was good yesterday. The worst defender, like Dante mentioned, for me, this is he still.
yeah,
The
but
like,
he wasn't the best, to be
yeah,
honest. I was quite disappointed in. I think definitely Disasi number one, number two was Shield, the second worst defender. He made
yeah.
so many mistakes. It's a shame
And
after
the
what a
two
great game he
and the
had.
two remained lack of proper protection from the two sixes. Parent of the two sixes could be a factor to consider
Yeah,
because in the Premier League they were better protected.
no, but the errors he made was one on one and positioning. But one on one, he lost
Hmm.
it twice on the right winger, got up ahead and he lost it. He tried to dribble him once, and then the guy got it off him, which he should never do in that position. The second time, he just went past him, and then nearly scored on both occasions. So, not have a good game at all. I was quite disappointed in Barishil as well. I think he let himself down after the last game, and that's been the problem. He's had one amazing performance, and then he doesn't really back it up. The inconsistency is still there, unfortunately.
But wouldn't you say, aside again, you mentioned the mistake, a one-on-one mistake he made. And also a factor that one should consider is the fact that we played with two sixes, irrespective of the application. That you said did do good enough job in terms of protecting the defensive line. I think that's a factor
No,
one shouldn't
yeah,
overlook.
yeah. Cassidy was pretty bad. Obviously, he was one of the worst in
Yeah,
the game as well. Yeah,
yeah,
but
and
these
that
were nothing.
in this. Go ahead.
Yeah, those the mistakes he made, and it wasn't one. It was like three or four of them. It was nothing to do with the defense. It was his individual defending errors himself. It was nothing to do with that. He was just on a couple caught out of position. He drifted to the left, and then the other ones were just one on ones. Like I said, very bad decision making, basically. So yeah, it's a shame because I thought he might have turned the corner, but after that again, I don't think so. He looked very shaky again and very error prone, and he did. He made four errors in the game, four bad errors.
Yeah, and I would say this: Casadei's case, I'm concerned that as the manager tries to mold him into a more defensive player, I think that will become an issue for him.
Yeah, it's not his
Honestly,
fault. He doesn't play there, coach. He's
yeah,
never played there
not
in
his
his
fault.
life.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's not his
it's a
fault.
novice position to him. He's trying to adapt, and being you could say he's being overly cautious if you paid attention to the way he applied
Yeah.
himself. Not he's a better player when you give him freedom to
He was playing
operate on the
safe.
pitch.
He was playing
Yeah,
safe, not to make a mistake, and only going backwards and sideways and head down. He was very conscious not to make a mistake. It was you can see it, and he was very, very, very safe because of it. And when you play like that, you're on the you make mistakes and you get caught out.
yeah. If the manager's going to try to mold him into something that he's not, I'd rather we'll let him leave, go somewhere else, play his game, and much all well. That's just my opinion anyway. And good afternoon, please. How are you? Yeah, you're from Ghana, Beniza. Nice to see you. Now everyone see the players that we. Yeah, yeah, our players are good. Mr. Ebenezer, my Ghanaian bro, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. Feel at home, express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. I'm not sure if there are anything any stuff from the manager's presser. Has it started already? Not yet, so I'm not sure. Always late. So let's move on. Let's go news hunting right now, and soon we'll get to the match review exercise proper. Bamfordinho is in the house. Bamfordinho, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join us on the panel this particular morning. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, Coachella. Everything is okay. How about you?
Excellent. I
How was
can't
your
complain, man.
Thanksgiving?
I had a good Thanksgiving. Had a family and friends around, and it was fun. But thank you once again. Nice to have you on the
That's
panel.
great.
Before we move on, Bam Fadiho, let's get your opinion. Philip Jorgensen, his performance yesterday, and do you think the manager should immediately drop Robert Sanchez and accommodate Philip Jorgensen as the number one? Or do you think you just see it as a competition being good that could like as Dante mentioned his that brilliant performance between the six yesterday could lead to Sanchez becoming prime Petr Cech against Aston Villa if he starts.
Yeah,
But your thoughts?
if we are taking this into consideration, I believe it's too early for us to, assess the situation right now because if you look at the competitions, it is two different competitions. One is Europe competition and the other one is Premier League. How Jorgensen is going to fail in the Premier League, nobody knows because he hasn't played any game yet. And the Premier League is in a setup in a way that if you don't take care, you might think he's so good with the European competition, so you might be in a haste to bring him to the Premier League. That might cause a whole lot of problems. And over the years, we could see Petrovic trying to do it, but along the line, he was having his, negative side of the game. So for me, if I'm a coach, I will assess the situation critically and probably as time goes on, I will introduce Jorgensen gradually. Because if you rush him right now, at least so far, Maresca has gotten a very decent performance, and you don't want a situation you start bringing in Jorgensen and things will go, bad, and they will start
And
the
then it
blame
becomes a mistake.
a mistake here, and the blame game will start, and people will be like, "Oh, Sanchez is the best. He could have stayed in the goal." So, for me as a coach, I will encourage him to look at the situation critically, and by the close of this year, if he thinks the guys is right for the Premier League, obviously you can let him start. But for now, I think Sanchez has been like a cancer. If you don't remove it, it's spreading. If you leave it like that, you might also die. So for now, Sanchez
I'm
has
sorry,
done.
but for Dijo, that what do you call it? That saying, there's one. I don't want to say the way we say it in Nigeria. The way it is said in Nigeria, that
Yeah.
a situation where you have, you know what's called set to fly.
Yep.
Set to fly pitches on a man's, you can say, pitches, or maybe if a man finds set to fly
Hmm.
on his balls, you leave it there, it will bite the life out of you. And if you try
If
to,
you try
you can say,
exactly,
instinctively deal with it, then you will cause
it's
yourself a serious
it's
injury.
it's
But
funny. Like
Did
Sanchez,
you say on his
Sanchez is
balls, coach?
yeah, I'm serious. That's the way we say it in Nigeria. But you get the analogy there. If
yeah,
you try to deal with it instinctively, you will hit yourself so seriously
so
on your
bad. And if you don't
what,
leave
and
it,
then yeah,
it's
you'll
hurting
be in
you.
trouble. Then if you leave it there, you're also in trouble too.
Of course, they had to do something with balls. Of course.
Of course, yeah. Are you happy now? Go ahead, Banfordinho.
So for me, I believe that Sanchez, some instances he has helped the team so like well, and we need to like the coach has to talk to him, because sometimes he make a whole lot of silly mistake he could have avoided, and that has been his problem. But I've seen games where Sanchez was so fantastic. So I don't know what it has to do with Sanchez right now. And if you look at him right now, he is an experienced, goalie. He has been in the Premier League for some time now, as compared to Jorgensen. So, although Jorgensen was so fantastic yesterday, he made some decent, saves in yesterday's game. But we were playing against who? Heidenheim in Germany, who to me, I'm not going to say they are not a good side, but if you compare their performance and their stats against some of the Premier League teams out there, obviously they are down there. So we need to exercise patience for Jorgensen. I think as time goes on, he could probably, become our number one. But for now, if I'm the coach, honestly, I will keep Sanchez, and I'll rather talk to him to be very careful on the ball, especially the way he let go balls and it affects the team. Yep.
And I'm gonna say this thing. I think your you can say comment uh aligns you slightly with that of Constantin Dante, which the captain of the house, to be more specific. He said something to the effect of um, that performance could lead to Sanchez, you could say, showing up as he should and not make silly
Yeah,
mistakes. So if he's good at, because if he's that sort of individual that when he has a competition such as Jorgensen, and he puts again he ends a game and was as brilliant as he was on that day, it leads to him
yeah.
looking himself in the mirror and realizing I have work to do, and improves and
I think
shows, yeah,
I
he
think the
can do
same thing
better.
happens to Cucurella when he came first. I think he was struggling a lot, and people were doubting him. They were like, "Is this guy going to, survive at Chelsea?" It got to a time they nearly ship him out to Manchester United, and I'm so glad we didn't make that mistake. But look at him right now; he has taken his game so seriously, and I think this guy is one of our best players right now. So maybe this team might, enhance Sanchez to make sure that, hey, if I don't take things seriously, I'm going to lose my position. And by so doing, I guess probably he can avoid some of the mistake he normally, you know, do in a game. And it's a good thing. I like the competition. Oh, from all
Let's
angles.
just hope. Let's just hope he's that sort of person, because
Yeah.
people, you can say, people are different. In my
Mm,
opinion, some people don't. Competition isn't the reason they improve. It would be, if, like I said, it would be come down to them deciding, yeah, you know what, I need to get better, or maybe just as they practice, they get better. Some don't care about criticism.
yeah.
All the
People aren't the
pressure gets
same.
to
Just
him
like we
too much,
learned the hard way that
and he'll make more errors.
Edward Mendy didn't care. Go ahead.
or the pressure will get to him too much, and we will see him make more errors in the next game because that's
Yeah,
Sanchez
it
is
could go either way. That's your
Either way,
point,
yeah.
right?
That's also
Sanchez has got that in him 100%, and we've seen it before at Brighton and at Chelsea. Yeah, for me, it's very hard to change Sanchez. He's already mature. He's already 27. He's not gonna change. You're not gonna improve his footballing IQ or anything. He's always gonna be that player. So I'm very, very doubtful, that we won't see mistakes again from Sanchez. Unfortunately, he freezes, like I said, on most of those occasions. He'll freeze, and his footballing IQ in those moments, won't help him. And he'll never be that guy. I think it's too late for Sanchez at 27, 28, nearly 28 actually. So I think he is who he is, and for me, my opinion, that's probably more of a squad player, backup goalkeeper, not an actual starting goalkeeper. If we want to compete and if we want to win things, I don't think he's that guy.
Here's why I'm inclined to, you can say, to subscribe to your suggestion or maybe your theory that a bit too late. If the issue is that he often again doesn't his passes don't usually get to their intended targets, then that's something that can improve with practice. But this is a concentration issue. Him taking too much time to find a solution whenever the opposition pressure, you can say, cut out spaces, his passing lanes. He usually gets confused, doesn't know what to do with the ball, and persists on, you can say, going through the passing lane that's been already covered by the opposition. I think, I'm concerned. I'm inclined to believe that, it's not going to stop. It
And
won't continue.
Coachella, you know something? Me, the reason why I'm saying we should be a bit cautious about the whole situation is if you look at the month of December, January, February is a very crucial month. And as a coach, you don't want to take a very drastic measures that can affect the team, and the blame game will start, and it can even affect your career as a coach. Because all of a sudden, if we should bring Jorgensen and he would do everything, and yet will be conceding goals and will be losing a lot of games, what do you think will happen? People will be more, doubtful, and by then you might have demoted Sanchez onto the bench. Are you now?
Are you there?
He'll probably be a
Okay.
bit rusty. So I still believe that we need to let things stay the way it is right now, but the coach has to talk to Sanchez. At least we've won 12 games and we've drew about 4 games, and we've lost, I don't know, whether 2 or 3 games, which is not bad as compared to the previous season. I guess he's going to get things right, although he makes a whole lot of. It was the same Sanchez who saved us in one of these games. I've forgotten the game that we're playing. It was a last minute, mean swing, and the guy
I
just,
think it was against Bolly that
he,
what's
yeah,
his
one
name?
of those games we could have
Fofana
lost.
was deleted, and
Exactly.
had they scored that
I
goal,
thought
that I
the
think it ended in the draw, or I think so.
ball
But go
was in
ahead.
the net. I thought the ball was in the net, but by the time I realized this guy was able to make the clearance, and it was a fantastic thing. So I know my brother out there believe he should be demoted to the bench. I agree with him on the standpoint of a football fan, but as a coach, honestly, I wouldn't make that mistake, because if I should make that mistake, it could affect the whole season progression, and that will be on me. So for now, let's see how Jorgensen can add himself into the first team when it comes to the Premier League. You understand? He didn't even come to the US tour. That is one of those problems. You can't just throw him into a Premier League game. Don't forget, you have Arsenal team who will be pressing. How is he going to contain that pressure as compared to Heidenheim in Germany? Let's also not forget that you're going to have a Liverpool team that will be pressing a lot. How is Jorgensen going to react when those players are coming on him? So it's a
Mm.
total different competition, and people shouldn't be, gaslighting about the whole situation, because if we try to say that, oh, he's okay to become the number one, we should also think about the effect, whether it's going to be a positive thing or a negative thing. But I still think that he's a prospect and he could overtake Sanchez anytime soon. So we should just give him some time, let him enjoy the European games, and I strongly believe he's going to be a fantastic guy.
Yeah, I think we've lost coach, but doesn't matter. I'll continue. Yeah,
Yeah.
look, I agree that say to that. I do you subscribe to the theory that if your it's dropped, do you think if then Jorgensen has one or two really bad, put Sanchez back in, do you think that will affect Sanchez?
You were dropping. You said what will affect Sanchez?
Yeah, like a lot of people say, oh, if we put Jorgensen in and he has really bad games, and then what we can't just put Sanchez back in because then that Sanchez's confidence will be so bad he wouldn't. I don't believe that. I think so. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think of that? So, say next game, he puts Jorgensen in, but Jorgensen has a bad game, and then the game after that, he has another bad game. But then Maresca puts Sanchez back in because Jorgensen just is feeling the pressure and he's not doing it. Do you
Yeah,
think?
that's what I was saying. That probably we should leave things the way it is right now. You don't want to bench Sanchez and he will lose all the energy and everything, the confidence. And this is a very critical moment where you don't want to create a situation where the player will feel so bad and he will relax and he wouldn't care about the season anymore. So for now, I believe they can leave things as it is right now. Let Jorgensen compete in the European games. Gradually, we can start him with some of these competitions out there. We have the FA Cup. I think one of them we are out, but there are other competitions where we can let him play and enjoy the Premier League, the Premier League games. It's not necessarily you need to put, or if the coach should be very strategic, he could put Sanchez in one of the low blocks teams when we meet them. That way, there is not a lot of pressure, because the pressure that's involved a game between maybe Chelsea and Liverpool, it's not the same as compared to some of the European games. That's why I'm saying that. Have you also assessed Sanchez playing in the European games? He could be the number one. He could be one fantastic goalie when he should play with some of these low teams in Germany and in Azerbaijan and all
I
those.
don't think it matters, to be honest. If that was
No,
Sanchez
it
in goal
matters a
against
lot. I can.
Heidenheim, I
Yeah,
don't
it
think it would
matters.
matter. He would make mistakes and he would
You
concede
know,
a goal
you know
because the
when you are.
pressure was so high. They were pressuring
You,
so high. It doesn't matter if it's Liverpool or Heidenheim. If they're pressuring from the front and putting them under pressure like Heidenheim did, it doesn't matter what opposition it is. If they're weak or
but
good, it doesn't matter.
if you are a player, sometimes the way you play your games, it differs depending on who you are playing. There are certain games you are going into the game and you feel so confident. When you get the ball, you can feel so comfortable with the ball, but you can't do some of those things with some of a stiffer opposition. That's why I'm saying that you can also put Sanchez. The coach can do that. Okay, let me swap the two players. Let Sanchez go here. Let me see how he's going to fare against some of these, opponents. And let me also bring Jorgensen. But the point is, should Jorgensen take charge right now and things begin to go bad, it can affect the whole season. And I've told people that we shouldn't be they shouldn't underrate Chelsea in this year's league. We stand a chance of winning this league. So if you are a coach, you want to be very cautious. You want to stick to whatever is working for you. And at the end of the season, I strongly believe Jorgensen is not going anywhere. He's still young. He could just be introduced gradually and things will work perfect for us. But
Well, he'll be introduced very soon because Sanchez is one yellow card away from suspension, so he will
So
be
mhm.
that's a good. That would be
Yeah, that's
present a
another
good
opportunity.
opportunity for
Mhm.
him.
For him. That's another opportunity for
All
him.
right. Let me catch up. So we'll move on to the next item. We have a few items that I just I was searching. I did found a few interesting items that we can discuss. before we move on to the match a review exercise proper. A few items. Yeah, I get it. A few. All right. From the Demonat says that we have a game on Sunday and Wednesday, and then Wednesday a great time to give Jorgensen the game on Wednesday against Southampton. Let's see what happens. It may well happen. What the H place am I listening to? Pause, bro. You know why he's saying that? Because of that thing I translated to a Nigerian um
Version that
production. All right. Bench, according to the Blue Tiff again, he says bench Sanchez. There's absolutely no risk. It cannot get any worse. Playing without a goalkeeper and instead fielding an extra defender would be more profitable. Walter Maregbe, my bro, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I do hope you're doing well. And he says Mendy came from Lille to become Chelsea's number one choice goalkeeper. Uh, yeah, what difference with scientists? Heston, I think it will eventually happen. Some managers usually, I can, from my experience, are reluctant to to change goalkeepers.
Yeah,
It would take some horrendous chain of errors to for him to decide immediately, yeah, you know what, you're done. I've seen managers decide to take goalkeepers off while the game is still on. Actually, it's happened. But let's see what happens. I think eventually, yeah, Jorgensen will become Chelsea's number one goalkeeper. I want to go back to the presentation window here. Did he go off? I think we still have it. Let's go there. We've talked about Jorgensen. A few items, interesting items I found while news hunting on Chelsea Dodgers X feed, no longer Twitter. Usually the first thing that comes to mind is Twitter. So let's look at what we have here. Give me 1 second here. Some interesting stuff, but yeah. That this app has changed significantly. A low scroll and everything on the feed will disappear. Okay, looks like we're getting items from the manager's presser. Enzo Maresca on title race. So let's follow that one by one. That was 46 seconds ago. It's nice to see the team improving. That is important. It's nice, a good thing, a good feeling. At the same time, you need to be realistic, and you can see the difference between us and the rest at the moment. This doesn't mean we're not going to win. Houston, I like his measured response there. But more importantly, I think what stands out for me is the fact that, yeah, uh, let's say, I think he says that if you compare to how you can say the progress we've made, and if you're saying things from the perspective of the project overall, we're not in the title race. It's common sense, really. But mathematically, we're there. Mathematically, you can
mm,
say yeah, we're title contenders, actually.
yep,
Just no other way to say it. But if we look beyond mathematics and look at the fact that, yeah, in terms of our progress, we're still very young. We're still getting used to the manager's preferred aperture football and all that. Then you'd say, yeah, mathematically we're there, but in actuality we're not, because yeah, we don't. I don't think we have what it takes to win the trophy right now. But never say never. I've seen again the biggest surprise since I started following football, Leicester City winning the league. Nobody gave them a chance. A lot of people won a lot of money. Those for those that are into betting with that. Um, but that's by the way. I'm not sure what is to say about that. It is what it is. Jorgensen may well eventually become Chelsea's number one, but until that happens, it's up to the manager to decide. I don't think there's anything else to talk about that. So let's start looking at the reason why we're here. We've addressed our first item there. The second one, Enzo Maresca is asked, does the fierce competition make players hungry to play? I would say, yeah. Maybe to do make players, you could say wanting to do better, in my opinion. Exactly. This is one of the targets that they can compete with each other in the right way. The other way, Romeo. The other day, Romeo was on the bench, but that doesn't mean he will be on the bench the next game. I think if the manager if he fears the opposition, that's when you see the pairing of Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo. Dante, what do you think?
Yeah, look, could be. It definitely could. Although they're a little bit inconsistent, but at the moment, but they're still a very good team. So it could be. I hope not. I really would still like more, but I can see. Yeah, it's the way it's been going, the way Maresca's been going. It's definitely a very big possibility that that will be the case.
Mm-hmm. Enzo Maresca believes the fierce competition. I think we've addressed that. The fierce competition in his squad is keeping the Chelsea players hungry, but reiterated there's still much more improvement to come from his side. I think I agree. If you understand football, and this is one of not really from the presser. Simon Johnson reporting that Chelsea believe they are ahead of budget commercially and on track for where they wanted to be on the sporting side of things. This is despite not having a main front of shirt sponsor, which, in my opinion, I've learned over time that we're not in a hurry. We're trying to get the best deal that we can get. They are confident they will comply with PSR. I'm not concerned too. And that's just me. GFC Garbage, nice to see you, bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Anything else to address here? Nicholas Jackson, okay. Nicholas Jackson has never forgotten where he came from, sending truckloads of food for locals in Zingunko, Senegal, and Banjul, the capital of the Gambia. Wow. Okay. Yeah, he has Gambian connections. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I've read something to that effect.
I think his father or mother is from Gambia. Actually, he was born in Gambia though, but he turns out to play for Senegal. I don't know which of the parents come from Senegal, but he's a Gambian, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, more importantly, African. Nicholas Jackson is tired of Didier Drogba comparisons, telling those who bring it up that one is a legend of Chelsea while he is a nobody, still finding his feet. That's a good mindset.
Mhm.
That's a good mindset. On Chelsea's low base salaries, which are heavily incentivized with bonuses, one source said they will reward you if you prove you are worth it. That's something we've talked about at length here. You earn what you work for. Gone are the days that you get paid your salary, irrespective of how badly you're playing, or if all you do is sit on the bench. That has changed, and I'm happy that that's the case. But that's by the way. Anybody else want to add to what we've talked about already before we get to the match review exercise proper? We'll still come back and see if the manager, if he said anything interesting worth analyzing.
You guys were talking about Casaday's performance last time, and I'm also a bit worried about the situation because up to now, nobody knew why he abruptly ended his loan stint with Leicester City. I guess
I
you
have a
all,
theory. I think at the time
yeah.
I thought because we lacked some numbers in that area, we had injury issues, and we called
Was
him
it
back.
has it not got to do with him and Maresca at the time,
No, no, no,
or
no, no, no,
it
no.
has nothing to do?
I don't
Okay,
think so.
yeah. So I strongly believe that he has to work so hard. He and Chukwumeka, I'm so concerned for their progression as we have a new coach because if they are unable to make the mark, I don't think they're going to be here in the upcoming year. So whatever is going on with him, he has to work so hard and make sure that he can cement his place in this team. Other than that, I believe we might lose him to another team based on how he's going to perform. And it will be so bad to the extent that I still think that guy is so fantastic. And if we should lose him to one of our rivals, he's going to come back and bite the team. So we have to be very careful.
Let's see what happens there. Then I don't know if you have anything to add to that. We did you, and I know you know my concerns. I think my concern is the same as Bamfordino, except that I didn't go to the extent of, you could say, the fearing us losing him. I just thought maybe it would stifle his development. That's my belief. If it, I mean, if he doesn't play more often than he's doing it right now, I think that's a problem for me. I'm not that sort of. I'm not a selfish fan. If I like a player, I'd like them to do well, irrespective of what. If they end up doing well elsewhere and not at my club, I don't care as long as they respect my club. And he's respected the club. He wants to make it at Chelsea, but I think sometimes we just have to be truthful to the kids and let them know, yeah, look, the opportunity you're seeking, you can get that here, and that will become an issue for your development. He needs to be playing week in, week out. But that's just my opinion. Dante, if you wanted to add something to that, you go ahead before we move on.
Yeah,
To yeah.
100%. Yeah, he definitely needs. He made that decision at the season with Maresca. They wanted him to go on loan, but he made the decision to stay. I think he's probably rethinking that decision, and I think what's best for him is to go on loan. We might even sell him back to Italy. I'm okay with it. I don't think he'll get a chance in this team. He's not good enough. He doesn't fit where he suits to play. We have too many players. So yeah, for him personally, and probably best for the team would be a loan. And even if we do sell him in a deal at him in or Italy, it doesn't matter. As long as it's profitable, it doesn't matter for me. I think he's a very long way from becoming a player that can be very, very impactful, in my opinion. Yeah, he's got some traits, but he's very
I mean, the
slow.
talent is there, but he's not quite there.
Especially for the Premier League, yeah, he's very, very slow. Fernandez is slow, but Cassidy is even slower than. Look, he's got a lot of improvement to do, and the only way he can do that is been playing week in, week out, and he definitely needs. I'm not sentimental. I don't mind if we move him on. Fine with it because he's got no place. He will never play ahead of like in those positions. Palmer, Flick, the players coming in. Like if Payers comes in, if I think Messinho comes in, they're not. Yeah, he's got no room, and he's not a DM. We know that. He hasn't got that in him to be maybe, but not now. No, he's definitely more forward, sort of 8/attacking 10 player. But yeah, he just needs to move on. The same with Carney as well. Exactly the same.
Yeah,
They
they
need to
just
move
have to
on.
move on. No sentiments at all.
No
If we keep
sentiments.
them,
No.
we'll end up not. I mean, it's not going to be of any good to their development. We just end
Exactly.
up, yeah,
Yeah.
wasting
Yeah.
their talent here, and they're not going to develop properly again. And there's a timing that they miss that timing of, you can say, getting to perform and get to a level that we all believe they can get to. I think it becomes a bit too late. They'll become mid players forever. So.
And there's a couple of other players that we've got that are going to come in, and we don't know yet. So, but we know about these other players already. So, yeah, it can get stale just staying around and not happening. It's not happening. A performance here and there, a game here and there. It's not good enough. So, yeah, those positions were loaded, unfortunately. So, yeah.
All right, thank you so much. A big up to FC Gavin. I'm not sure Nightbot is these days he doesn't perform consistently. Maybe we need to bench him. But you can share the link to your YouTube channel. And the Demonat is saying Casadei and Leslie need to be loaned out or sold. We have Santos. He has already earmarked. He's already been earmarked for first team football next season. Our midfielder Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, Santos, and maybe one of Leslie Ugochukwu or Cesare Casade. I don't think they'd be here. Ugochukwu probably will go out on loan again. I'd say one of them, if Santos is going to join the first team, one of the two should join. One of the two should join Strasbourg. There's a path for them there. They get to play week in, week out. They don't have too many quality players. So whenever we give them players, they take them seriously and play them week in, week out because they're better than the players they have there.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good, bad idea if the players are not getting their game time here in the Premier League. Obviously, we have Strasbourg where they could accommodate them and they will make an impact over there. And Dante was talking about Cassidy not good enough. I tend to disagree on that because I believe sometimes the kind of formation or how a coach will position you can also affect your game. But a different coach could come in and Casade will be a different, player altogether. And I want Chelsea fans to also be careful the way they think that probably Pais and Estabal will come in and they will start performing the magic. It doesn't work that way. They are fantastic players. We have to wait. We need to exercise patience for them. We shouldn't overhype them. And when they come in and things are not going right, you see that frustration will set in and a whole lot of things will go on behind the scenes that can even affect them. The same thing happens to Modric. Before he joined Chelsea, a whole lot of our supporters were saying a whole lot of things about him. But when he came in, the weight was too much for him, and it turns out to be somehow pressured for the guy. And up to now, he's trying to find his feet. So we need to sometimes slow down, look at the whole situation before we can make, you know, any assertion about some of these players. So I still think Casade should be part of Chelsea, but if he should go on loan, that would be perfect. Me, I believe if a player is good, he has the future. I don't think we should rush, selling him because of what happens with Kevin De Bruyne and Mo Salah. They could have been Chelsea players right now, but because at the time we thought we have a whole lot of players, so we don't really need them. It affected us over the years. So I still think Chukwuemeka, Kasade, and all the boys out there who are showing a lot of, good performance should be stick with the team. They should continue to stick with the team. Let's find a plan for them, probably a loan plan. And at the end of the day, who wins? Chelsea wins. I need all the good players in my team. To be honest, we don't have to rush them.
Yes, then. Um, but sometimes clubs are forced to sell players when the players themselves want to leave.
Want to go? Okay, that
That's
one.
what compounds the situation.
Yeah.
In the case of Carlos Chukwuemeka, I think he's made it clear he wants to leave. He says that he's starting or he leaves, and that's why he's been tricked. He's
Oh,
been
okay. If he says
Yeah, the
that, then
club don't pay that much
honestly, yeah.
attention to whether he's playing or not.
Oh, okay. If Chukwumeka wants to leave, that's the kind of players me. I don't want them to be in my team because if a player wants to leave and you so are holding on to their wishes, sometimes they don't want to give you 100% performance right away. I will find a way to let him go. So if he wants to leave, that is okay. But if he still thinks that he want to be at the club, I still think he's a good player, and we should consider the way we can give him some nice plan for him to go elsewhere and get the experience and come back. But if he feels like he can get game time somewhere and he wants to leave, obviously the club can let him go. And I have no problem about that.
Mhm. Dante, I leave this question on the screen for you. I think it's a question. Which one is that? The correct one, Mr. T here. Yep, saying Watson Kunka's future in this team
Mhm.
and the injury update from yesterday's game. Did anybody suffer any? Or did we? No.
No,
He
he had a knock, but I don't think it was serious.
Okay.
He
Well, Dante,
Yeah, I
you
continued
go
to
think it
play.
ahead.
was cramp.
The question on the screen for you.
Yeah, I just think it was cramp in his calf. I don't think it was anything serious, so he came
Who?
off.
Who? Cramp for who?
In Kuku.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was nothing serious. Like, yeah, it was just he cramped up from what I see in his calf, and then and then he missed that one-on-one chance. You saw him running through on the goal one-on-one right before he came off. He was running a bit funny already, so after that he just sat down and said to get subbed. Yeah, it was just his cramp. It was cramping up before that already, his calf. So yeah, that's why he came off. So I think he's
Okay.
fine. He'll
And,
be
and
fine.
with regards to the first part
Mhm.
of the comment on the screen here,
Yeah.
would it be right to say that Nkunku's future is in his hands? Since the manager has said openly that Nkunku, he's not looking to sell Nkunku, which could be interpreted as the club not looking to sell Nkunku. If that's the case, I think wouldn't it be right to say Nkunku's future is in his hands?
100% it's in his hands. It's his decision. It doesn't matter what the coach says. If he doesn't want to be here, wants to go somewhere else and be a first choice, and yeah, if he's got that right, and the club will assist him and they will help him. We've seen that with other players. They will do that, no problem. As long as they get what they want from the deal, they'll do it 100%. Um, Look, Nkunku's, again, I think yesterday, again, you saw the frustration of Nkunku. He didn't have really that good of a game. he missed very easily chances one-on-one. First one, he tried to be fancy and chip the keeper when that was never on. It was a simple finish around the keeper, left foot, curl, easy goal, but he went for the fancy. The goal he scored was good, touch and good finish. But the rest, the link-up play and the chances that he missed, again, he's not, like we said, Jorgensen's knocking on the door of Sanchez. I have not seen Nkunku not for the last 3-4 games. He's not really knocking on the door of Jackson, to be honest. He's not. Yeah, he's getting those goals because against its opposition, he's scored some penalties, some tap-ins. Do that every now and then, but he's not really putting that pressure on Jackson, to be honest. The way he's performing,
I will go to the extent of saying his body language hasn't helped.
and the body language, and yeah, so he's not doing it. He had the opportunity; he could have scored 3 goals and had a hat trick and probably be man of the match. But again, he didn't take that opportunity to put that pressure on. So yeah, it's in his hands. But I keep saying he will get his chance very soon. He's going to play. He's going to start. There's a lot of games coming up. Jackson's also another suspension away as well. He will, and also he's going to be gone for AFCON for probably 4 to 5 games, the whole of January basically. So he will be very important. Will he stay? Will he, dig down deep harder and stay, or will he just take the easy option and one out? We'll have to wait and see. I'm sure Maresca's, he knows this. Maresca's had talked to him about this. He's going to play a lot very soon. He's going to have his chance. And like I said, especially in January, he's going to have his chance. He's going to get like 5 in a row, basically. And yeah, he's going to, if he does that and he performs, then he'll keep his spot over Jackson if he does amazingly well, because it'll be too hard to drop if he's doing well. So it's up to him. It's all up to Nkunku, what his future, like I said, and like you said, it's all in his hands, what he wants. Is he going to be patient like we were with him, waiting a year while he was out injured and treated him and, looked after him for a whole year? Or is he going to, jump ship opportunity if the opportunity arises in January? We'll just have to wait and see on that one.
We wait and see. Bamfordinho, in a minute or two, you want to add anything to that, or should we go ahead?
Yeah, you can go ahead, but I what I would say is it's rather unfortunate that everywhere he want to play, most of the players are really doing good. I haven't seen him in the outer side of the field, probably competing with Neto. And if you can see Neto is really doing good, and there are so many other options. So right now, everything is in his hands. He can decide to stay at Chelsea on the bench, or he could go elsewhere and get a game plan. And if he should go anywhere, I believe he will go either to France or maybe back to Germany. That would be his option. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you. What else do we have here? This here reads, okay, we've addressed that. And I think EPL tough, the issue is that you're using too many, you're using all caps, and plus probably this is I know you're trying to make a point there, but Nightbot, which is a robot, reads it differently. It thinks you're spamming. 3 games a week in December. A lot of these players will get their chances in the Premier League. And I think the point EPL Tough is making here is the fact that Nicholas Saxon will leave for AFCON in January. And yeah, Nkunku will get a chance. That is if the manager thinks you can say he's the next best individual to fulfill that role effectively. He may well start given, I'm not sure anyway, but Marguerite's not going to get that chance. He's gotten opportunities to prove that, yeah, he should be starting. I don't think he's taking it. Which in the end, Dante did warn us at the time that, yeah, the key was just an opportunistic signing. He's not going to play that much, and that's exactly what's happening, really. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, we've addressed this one. Let's get into the game proper. We'll go back to looking at items from the manager's presser. Interesting items, what analyze, and we're not just going to look at everything there. Dante, let me ask you this question. And if you're in the chat also, if you're watching, we want to hear from you. What did you learn from that game? Dante, let's hear from you. A few things or something you learned from that game that you think the viewers we should talk about, Dante.
Yeah, look, it wasn't a very good game for us. We did say before the pre-game everywhere we know we were going to struggle in that midfield area, that defensive midfield area a little bit with Cassidy there and KDH and then Vega inverting into there. They pressured us quite there. They added a couple of extra players there to target that area. That was the area they targeted it to put the pressure on. And yeah, we saw Cassidy struggling. Like I said, he just played it very safe. He was playing it very safe. That was first thing on his mind, and just not to make a mistake. And you can see the way he was playing that way. So yeah, it worked. They did very well. Look, we didn't do too well. We kept the first half. We kept our wingers very, very wide. Modric and Sancho were very wide for a reason. That was a tactic to keep their left back, right back out of the play and open up those lanes in between them and the centre backs. We just didn't capitalize because we had no ball movement from that midfield area because of what I just said. So it was a pretty difficult. Eventually, we started getting chances and stuff. Stuff opened up because Heidenheim, like I said, unfortunately, they're not the same team as last year. They are struggling, and they will open up because they do like to play more attacking and more open game, and they did eventually open up quite a bit. We had all the chances. Guy had a lot of chances. Yeah, he didn't take his opportunity again. Guy as well. Unfortunately, he wasn't very good on the day at all. Like I said, Nkunku missed a couple of chances there, but look, all in all, we did okay to just get across the line, but basically came down to the second half when the players went into the second halftime, and Maresca briefed them and showed them and did a couple of little tweaks here and there that freed up the wingers to come in more, and that changed the game quite a bit after we scored that first goal, especially. So, look, all in all, it was a pretty poor performance, but in the end, it got the result, and it was good. There's not too much we can take away from that game, to be honest. Like I said, there's not much. It was a pretty basic sort of game. Nothing, quite open, attacking. Heidenheim, they had a lot of chances. They decided to play attacking after all. So, yeah, there was not too much we can take away from it, except, yeah, like I said, the build-up wasn't the best in that midfield area. The link-up play was not good, especially in Nkunku in that 10. Not good at all, in my opinion. He's not suited for that role at all. We saw the difference as soon as Felix came on in that 10 position, the link-up and the one-touch passes and the ease of which he, started dictating play from that area. So, yeah, Nkunku didn't really take his chance. That's what I take from it. Jorgensen knocking on the door 100%, trying to knock the door down. And Disasi being a disaster in defense. That's about it I can take away. There's not much more I can take away from that game.
Yeah, honestly, it was a crazy one. And there's no AFCON this season. It's on December 2025. Thank you so much for that correction. I appreciate that. Of course, my enemy has to join to correct me, shun me in public. There's no AFCON until the end of 2025.
Yeah, they've changed the date.
EPL,
Yeah,
sorry?
they've changed the dates from what.
Yeah, it was changed. Yeah, and I didn't know. EPL tough. Yesterday we were lucky. Their forward keep shooting at Jorgensen, and he made good saves. We deserve to lose. We deserved to lose or draw that game. I don't know, Dante. Before I go to Banfordinho, do you agree? We deserve to lose or draw
Yeah,
that
like
game.
the first half has
Yeah,
been
go ahead,
No,
Banfordinho.
the first half
we
when
didn't deserve to lose. No.
the first half was very very bad. It was very dry, and we were making a whole lot of mistakes, and I was even surprised that we were now down with a goal or two. But when they came in the second half, things were restructured and we came back into the game. That's when you could see a lot of effort by our boys. As you all said, Badiashile and Disasi, I honestly have to forecast their future. If they don't amend their game, honestly, they could be shipped out from our team because there are so many instances. The expectation were very high, especially with the Sasi, but I don't know what went wrong, and they keep declining, and I'm a bit, worried about their situation. And also with Badiashile, this guy is so slow sometimes. when he's playing, the EPL games, you can see the effect. Sometimes it doesn't help the team. So I believe they have a room to, improve on their game. But if it continues like this, I strongly believe the coach will bring in some new boys and they might lose their position entirely. So they have to work hard. But yesterday's game was somehow bad in the first half. But I guess when they came back in the second half, things began to, shine for us. So it was a good game. And I recommend Maresca for taking that decision because this is a competition. He chose not to parade most of our big boys. He decided to take the second team to play. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go ahead and win the competition. So he did a very good thing by separating the boys and making some of them playing the European games and others playing the EPL. That was a good thing for him to do because back in the days, we were using the same squad to play matches and they get tired and there will be a whole lot of injuries. We haven't experienced that this season. The injury situation has helped us a lot. And if you are a team and you experience a lot of injuries in your team, there is no way you can compete for anything. This season has been a different thing altogether. At least we have a couple of players who have been on the injury list, but it hasn't been like previously where you could get about 5, 6 players on the injury list. And this is something I think we need to recommend them for doing. It has helped the team so good, and I really like what this guy is doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Dante, I don't know, you wanted to add something to that, to what he just said. Did you? What EPL Turf said in the comment section.
Oh, look, were we lucky a little bit, but I still think we deserve to win. We are the better team. We showed that quality in the second half. So no, I don't think we didn't deserve to win. I think we still won, the better team a little bit overall. We still were. We had the quality to do that, and that's the keeper, our wingers when they got freed in that second half, a bit of an adjustment to tactics. Then that turned the tide, and it worked, and we got the goals. So yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah, we didn't deserve to win that game. We deserved to win it because we did win it, and we created quite a lot of chances as well, very open chances, plenty of them. A lot of their chances were not that open. Yeah, they had a lot of shot on goals and attempts, but if you look at them, a lot of them were not really that quality. And in the end, the quality won out, and that was our players had more quality in the end.
So it'd be more appropriate to just say it wasn't the best of games, but yeah, we just didn't deserve to lose that game.
Exactly, and the quality of our players and our finishing was, even though we had pretty bad finishing on the day, but in the end, it was still much better than theirs. So quality in the end won on that day.
Just quickly, let me say this, Dante. But I think that would be a very, very the most appropriate note to bring in Bobby once I hear you talk about that. KDH yesterday, for me, he had a good game, didn't he? Let's hear you, Dante, before Bobby speaks.
Yeah, he had an okay game. He did some really good passes on the goals. He was not many people are seeing it, but he was the one that created. They had the goal to assist. He was the one that created that extra pass into Sancho every time, and then Sancho assisted the goals. But he was the one that created those situations for Sancho. So he actually had quite a big hand in the goals. He had a pretty good game. Nothing special again. He didn't really stand out, which we want to see from him. He had that great one-on-one chance, which he should have buried. It wasn't a good finish. If he scored that, it might have been a little bit different. But look, he had an okay game. But like I said, no one really had a really good game besides Jorgensen, to be honest. Sancho with those 2 assists, but other than that, he was pretty, like I said, because of the tactics in the first half, he wasn't very involved as much. So uh, he had an okay game, like I said, but he was important in those 2 goals, in the build up to those 2 goals with the pass to assist.
I mean,
He
he's
was
not quite
involved.
there yet, but he did better yesterday.
He played a little bit better because he played in more his position that he's used to. He pushed up from that CM box to box. He pushed up into a more 8-10 next to Nkunku. But the problem was Nkunku in that position. I keep saying that he doesn't know how to play that position very well. Nkunku, he was all
No,
over
he
the place.
doesn't. I mean, it's easy to believe that he's capable of fulfilling the number 10 role because of his, you can say, abilities, pronounced abilities, his ability to find solutions in tight spaces. But pass ball, you can say, he doesn't have, you can say, a passing range of a 10.
No, and vision
Yeah,
and positioning not quite
vision and
there.
positioning. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if Felix
Yeah.
started that game with KDH next to each other in that 10 role, you would have seen a lot more link up play between them and a lot more. I did not see hardly zero from Nkunku link up with KDH when they were both in that 10 role, just because Nkunku's drifting everywhere and not really playing that position as he should. So, yeah, I think that I was actually excited when I saw him pushing up into that position because this is the first time in the season that he got that opportunity to play in his preferred position. But unfortunately, look, he did some good passes, some good link up there, but yeah, he wasn't involved as much as he should be because of that. But in the end, like I said, he was involved in both those goals. He had the pass assist to Sancho, so Sancho can set up those goals. So in
And
the
there's
end, he
something else
was.
he brings to the table, Dante, that a lot of our players don't. He can shoot very well from outside the 18.
Yeah, and he had a very good shot as well,
Mhm.
correct, from distance, which was good to see because we don't shoot very rarely. We shoot from that, area from our tens. We don't really shoot as much, so that was good. He's got a good, powerful shot. It was a good shot, and yeah, I think he had a good game, one of his better games. But again, he didn't stand out with assists or goals, and that would have made a difference. But he had an okay game. But of course, he can still do much better. Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Let's bring in Bobby. Bobby, overall thoughts on the game. We want to hear you. I hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for finding the time to join us on the panel. Let's hear you. I hopefully you watched the game. Didn't you, Bobby? Do we have Bobby there? It looks like he's on mute.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Big up,
Yeah.
Bobby.
So, what was the question?
No, your thoughts
Bobby's
on the
shaking
game.
it. He's shaking at good KDH.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
He has to compose himself. We talked about KDH a bit too much, so he has to really compose himself right now.
A lot.
Give him a
Yeah,
second.
I'm here.
More
I'm
than
here.
we should.
I'm here.
All right, go
What
ahead,
was the
Bobby. Your
question?
thoughts on the game. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. I watched. Well, I watched. Well, I watched it after the event, but I watched
Okay,
all of
the
it.
replay. That's actually the best way. Again, it's usually you find out a lot if you watch the replay. When the game is still going on, when you watch, you can say you're tensed when you're watching it. You don't see everything. But go ahead.
Do you want my synopsis on the game?
Yeah. Or if that's what you want to do, or if you want to,
Look,
what did you
this
learn? What can we learn from
th-
that game? Your thoughts. What
this
stood out
is
for
what
you?
I this is what I call the integration games.
Mm.
And this is why it's good we're in this competition. I don't necessarily want to be there next year. I do want to win it, hopefully. But it's what I call the integration games, where we are the youngest team in the Premier League. We are the newest team to each other. We are a team that the manager, in his own way, is learning. And we are a team that's learning each other and developing. So this competition is what we're using to cement the team. Now, we have, we not every game is going to be perfect. It's perfect enough. They have 100% record. They have scored more goals than anybody in the competition. They have made more goal attempts than anybody in the competition. They have had more possession than anybody in the competition, and they've played 4 games. Now, are there things to improve? Absolutely. We have players coming back from injury or long term or sickness, like Jadon Sancho. And by the way, the latest injury to Reece James really has me concerned. not just for his Chelsea career, but for his football career, full stop. If you can't play 90 minutes or you play 190 twice and then you become injured with yet another hamstring, and you get that in training, I don't know where that's going, but that's another thing. So this game, I mean, what can we say? I have no complaints about the game at all. The opposition, it was their World Cup final. They gave it their
That
more than their best shot.
that's a good one, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, they gave it more than their best shot. They tried to ruffle our feathers. They didn't really, a couple of opportunities that Jorgensen did well to stop. I'm glad that
And Bobby,
Jorgensen.
please, before you round up, make sure to talk about Jorgensen's performance and whether you think he should be starting over Robert Sanchez in the Premier League. Once you're done with your take on the
Overall.
overall performance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Jorgensen had all those saves, but I'll still come back to him. Vega stood out as far, more than average in that game, in my opinion. Um, People are talking about Nkunku. Well, the manager thinks he's a number 10 more than a number 9. Maybe his passing range could have been better. I think that's more reflective of the fact that he hasn't been in that position for a while, and they're all still learning each other. Yeah, he made some passes that were easily intercepted and were short, but his goal was excellent. And you could see he has to motivate himself to play in the competition, which is done well. I take a lot of issue with the commentary we had. I don't know what you were listening to in the States, but the dross we
Spanish,
were listening
Spanish,
to,
Spanish person, because I was only able to get it through Amazon Prime.
well, the dross we have to put up with here in England is just so annoying. Talking of, this squad, and they always talk in a um negative light about the club, and it's disturbing. Joe Cole, who was one of the pundits, tried a little bit. He spoke well up until the time he started praising KDH. Then we both parted ways instantly. Look, I
I'm
went through a
sorry. Go
whole
ahead,
season
Bobby.
of hearing people absolutely slaughter um, Conor Gallagher. And now we're looking at this as acceptable. The guy is not a good player. It's just that simple. He is not quality at all. I think Cassaday in midfield was much more noticeable in terms of what he did. The inversion of Vega also helped solidify the midfield. He had a free run. And what was he doing? Running up and down like a blue ass fly half the time. Missing balls. He can't close down. Yeah, once or twice he gets a few passes right. A lot of the time he doesn't. I have no time for that player. The more I see him, the more I dislike him, especially when I think of how others were treated that were 10 times more impactful than he is. But, I'll move on from him and go to Jorgensen, who quite deservedly was the player of, was the man of the match. He did have several key saves, which he made, and you can't ask for more than that. Should he now be threatening Sanchez? He's certainly making himself known as an option, but with the December period coming up and how busy it's going to be, and by the way, I just don't know how this conference league works, because how many games have we played? We've not even gone halfway through yet, have we?
Yeah, Dante, can you help us there? If Bobby, you wanted
And
Dante to explain,
and
I think he understands.
Yeah,
yeah,
we've got
I'll
two
just
more
round off,
group
and then
games, two more
yeah,
so-called group games, and then the top 8
the mid-
automatically qualify. And yeah,
Yes, but what about the return fixtures of the fixtures we've had?
No, it doesn't.
No,
No
it's not
return
like that.
fixtures.
It's not like
Oh,
that.
right. So when you
Yeah,
play
you
at
just
home,
play
you play at
certain
home. That's
teams.
it.
Yeah, and once you're done playing
Oh,
those teams, that's it.
We play six
okay. Wow.
games, yeah, like but six different opposition, not like before where you play, home and away. And yeah, top eight qualify in the actual. It's just a ladder system, like a ladder system. Top eight automatically qualify, and they get like a higher place. The higher you are, the more. Yeah, there's another round which then they go through, but the top eight they get pushed a bit more forward, and then they come in after. Yeah.
Is that how the Champions League works as well?
Yeah, the Champions League
Yes.
too. Yeah.
Oh gosh, okay. Oh, that's a bit weird because then, may have an advantage with some teams and you don't with others, which is a bit weird. But anyway,
Yeah, they wanted to make it more competitive and more, help basically, and
I
like
like it actually. I know change is difficult, but I like it.
hmm, I'm sure it's something that we would probably discuss at another time because
Yeah.
there are issues with that. So, Jorgensen, is he going to displace um, um, immediately? I know a lot of you are hoping for that, but I'm pretty sure that Maresca is not going to do that. Now, should he displace Sanchez? I have my doubts, and the only reason I say that is not because I think Sanchez is a great goalkeeper. I'm just thinking of the stability of the team in a very crucial period. Sanchez, is he a great goalkeeper? No. Can he sometimes have important moments? Yes. Can he cost?
I think we
We've
lost Bobby.
lost.
bye
Yeah,
bye
we've lost
Bobby.
him. But he's back again. Let's see if he's fixed his connection.
The problem is when somebody call into your phone,
Is
you get
is a
disconnected.
goalkeeper?
Okay, go ahead, Bobby.
Okay, so I'm thinking that if we change him now, it will cause more problems than it will solve. And the last thing we need is a goalkeeper that's sulking on the bench and sulking in training at a time where everybody has to be hyper focused. So that's just my conclusion on that matter, to be honest. It's something that should have been sorted out in pre-season, but I understand why it hasn't been, and we may have to hang on.
Yeah, let's see. Dante did say something that if Sanchez is that such a person that learns from criticism, that's a perfect opportunity for him to pay attention to what people are saying and then trying to improve. But that's it. Also, did mention how he doesn't think it's something that he can actually address given his age and given that uh, it's something where that has to do with his him concentrating and deciding quickly on what to do with the ball at any given time. Sometimes it takes him too much time to decide, and by the time he decides on what to do with the ball, the only passing lane he has available at that particular point in time usually crossed out or covered, whatever language that you prefer, and then he still tried to go through that channel and end up passing the ball to the opposition. Unfortunately, I think he says I think Asade had a better game. He was he was pressed intensely, but did not lose the ball once. Also made defensive cutbacks. Okay. If that's how you see it, I think it's okay. The same comment right there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. It's still morning for me, 6:50 a.m. Las Vegas time. Let's see. Coach, can Bobby give a detailed performance review and accurate synopsis of the man of the match and overall elite baller KDH? I'm quite sure he's done that already, and you listen to him. Um, it would take a lot for Bobby to come around and say, yeah, he's doing well. This is Icha. Well, needs to be sold in January. Carney on loan. Carney probably will leave on a permanent. Unfortunately, the relationship doesn't look good. It looks like, yeah, the club has already decided it's surplus to requirement, and he himself, it looks like he's told again. There's something I can't quite remember what a particular report that we are addressing on Chelsea's perspective that suggests he'd already told the club that he wants to leave because he wants to be playing. Let's see. Coach also pressed KDH. You need to pattern so to let's see what we have here. I am more impressed with the offside trap and Jorgensen than anything else.
Yes.
Vamos Maresca. Maresca is doing well, and I appreciate that about him.
That's
A lot
one
of
thing,
people are
coach.
talking
Let me
about the
add to that.
offside trap. Dante, let's hear you. Um,
Yeah, that's one thing I when we talked about earlier, I should have brought that up 100%. That's one thing we did very, very, very well in last 5 minutes when they were really pushing and they put another striker on and pushed another forward, and they were just playing like I thought they would more from the start because they did play with the
mhm.
two strikers in there, which he normally plays. I'm surprised he didn't start. They were very threatening, but we kept that line perfectly every time. They're offside probably 6 or 7 times in that instance. They put it in the net a couple of times as well, but they were offside. We kept the line very well organized, right on the edge of the box. Everybody was in a line every time, looking at each other across. That was brilliantly. That's the best I've seen it actually all season, to be honest. The way they organized that. Um,
What was it that we were so good, or that they were so naive?
well,
Because
that's
we
the only thing you can
do
do,
that all
Bobby,
the
is
time.
no, because I've seen that
We've been
Colwell
horrible
cost us
at setting
goals
offside
because of that
traps, but
reason.
we've considered from positions where we were trying to set offside
Exactly,
traps, and again, it was awful. It didn't, no, it wasn't coordinated.
Well,
at all.
that's the purpose of the game. Then this is why these games are important for us, because the rehearsals are taking place and they are improving. If that's the case.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, like I said, yeah, it was like Vic said, yeah, it was perfect. They executed it to a T. That was one big bonus from that. It's not the players that are really starting in the Premier. Have not been doing that well in the Premier League. Colwell has been caught out on many occasions breaking that line and keeping players on side, and it's cost us a lot of goals because of it. So it was good to see. They were very disciplined, and yeah, of course, Heidenheim were very. They just wanted to goal, and their quality showed there that they didn't know how to beat that trap. So yeah, it's a bit of both, but it was very good to see that they were all on every single time. They're always looking across at each other and keeping that line really tight and being very disciplined. So that was very good to see. I 100% agree with Vic in that one.
Yeah, I don't think
Well, if they're defending more solidly, then just as Maresca said, he can change at any time. He can get you into the Premier League squad if he feels fit. And if the defense is showing to be more solid, which I have my doubts, that can only augur well for them if their goal is to be playing in the Premier League.
Yeah, and the one outliner there in that who was organizing that most of the time. Now that was the one that's a bit
Listen,
more vocal on that. We know he's a leader, and that's Tosin, correct? He was
yeah.
organizing that line every time. Yes. So he was the difference in that organizing everyone. Yeah, they all were good. Like I said, they looked across at each other, but Tosin was the one central, the one organizing it all and screaming out loud and making sure and pointing that they stick to that line. So there's your outliner, Tosin.
Yeah, and just quickly before we continue looking at the game, something I want us to discuss quickly. I'm quite sure some of us, or maybe all of us, we've all seen the report suggesting that Chelsea are looking at to re-sign Mark Guehi, and a subsequent report, a report today, is it today or when? 4 hours ago, saying Crystal Palace's Mark Guehi is keen on rejoining Chelsea, while Newcastle are also still interested in the centre back. I don't think we need them, but that's a small opinion anyway. Levi Cowell can, you could say, develop into a good leader. Hot-headed, he's hot-headed. Reported hot-headedness is not an issue for me. He can draw. You could say some of what defines them as a hot-headed player and you can say put it in this reservoir of what makes him you can say what will eventually make him a leader, in my opinion. I don't think he's Chelsea quality, in my opinion. I'd rather we continue with the players we have. If we have to sign in a centre back, it has to be one that probably more experienced and better overall than Mark Guehi. But that's just my opinion anyway. I'm not saying he's a bad player. Maybe I've not been able to see what some Chelsea fans have what they've seen in him that's led to them you can say preaching for the club to re-sign him. But Dante, let's get your opinion.
Look, where he is a very good defender, coach, and he's a young leader as well at that club. He plays for England quite a lot in that central defense as well. Tomori and him, he plays a lot there. So he is very experienced for a young age, and he's already a leader. And if you were to tell me to swap him now for Colwell, I would do it in a heartbeat, 100%, because he's a much better all-round defender and a leader than Colwell is at the moment. Yeah, Colwell will probably improve in the future. I just haven't seen that as much yet. So he is a much better defender, and he's an upgrade, and he's only 24 years old as well. So he's very young still as well, Guehi. So look, he's a quality defender. Is he the one we really need? Yeah,
And for
questionable,
how
but
much we've heard that Crystal Palace are asking, I don't think
correct.
it makes
That's
sense.
the problem, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's a problem.
I think
Price,
we did hear something north of 70 million pounds, right?
exactly. So that's on there, obviously. So look, it depends, but is he better than what we have right now? Yes, he's shown that he's better because he's doing very well. Like I said, he's a leader, young, plays for England. So yeah, look, I think he's a better defender than what we have at the moment. But I'm not sure if you add him for that price. There's no point really, to be honest. For that price, you're gonna go someone that's if you're gonna pay that much, you go someone for like a Bastoni or someone like that. That's actually proper world class, So I would probably for that price, no, I wouldn't know. If he's on a really decent price and we cannot get anyone else, maybe it's a good option, especially if 2 or 3 of them leave. For example, if Badiashile leaves, Desai leaves, then there is an opportunity there, definitely.
Yeah. Bafadinho, how about you? Chelsea to
Badia
re-sign.
Shield did quite well yesterday. I don't know if
I
No,
think he
anyone
did well.
noticed.
It's not one of his best games, but he did well.
not really. No, not in my
Well,
opinion. No.
well, Coachella, what is the point of bringing
Yeah.
back?
So the question I wanted to ask you is this, Bafadinho, before we go to Bobby.
Yeah,
Would you like Chelsea to re-sign Mark Guehi, and if yes, how much would be a good price? I
there is
don't
no
think
need.
anything not of 15 million would be a good price, honestly, because we still have Anselmino coming in, and he's an
Yes,
excellent defender in my opinion. But
that's
let's
what
get your thoughts before
that's
we
what
go
I
to
was going
Bobby.
to say. There is no need to bring Magui because this guy was here. That boils down to what I was saying initially. If players are here, we don't have to quickly, sell them and later on we will go and bring them back. It doesn't make sense to me. If you have plans for them, this thing wouldn't have happened. We move on. I think he's an excellent player, but I tend to disagree with Dante about his performance as compared to Cowell. Cowell is still young, and I don't think he has shown any bad performance over the past weeks. He's trying to pick up his game and he's doing very good. If Guehi is coming, are we going to sell one of these two players, Badeshio and Disasi, who is going to go? And we have Asemino, who might probably join next season. So if we are making that decision, we don't have to overhaul the list by bringing in a lot of players, and later on you tend to send them back, and it's going to create a whole lot of problems. So we should let him be at where he is right now. If you look at Crystal Palace, I don't think they are doing very good. If he's a good player over there, it should impact the whole team. And that's some of the questions we have to ask. Is he ready for like the system that we have here? How is he going to perform when he joins? So these are so many things the scouters need to ask. Some of these questions they have to ask and see if he's going to be perfect for our system. But I don't think it's really necessary because we have some young players out there who can step in, and we are also dealing with Badiashile and Disasi. So why then do you bring an extra defender? It doesn't make sense to me, and I don't think at this point we need him in our team.
So clearly, for you, it's not really about the
No,
price tag. It's just that you don't feel like
we
he's
need him.
better than Levi Colwell, and there's no need. I don't think you
Right.
should go for him. And actually, I don't know. Maybe I've not been paying attention. I'm not too sure about his ability on the ball. Maybe
Yep.
I need to pay attention even more. But that's just me. But Bobby, before I come to you, let me catch up with a bit of some of the things we have here. Now, Badiashile was poor yesterday, along with the Sissi. Okay. Tosin was good with long balls. Tosin passing is his thing. Acceleration, maybe that's where he lacks a bit, but he's quick, but takes time to pick up pace. He reads the game very well. He's excellent aerially. He's excellent on the ball. I'm not sure why he isn't starting in the Premier League, but that's just my opinion. I think he should be starting, and that's my opinion. Colwell and Badiashile, and there yet. But Guehi isn't an upgrade, sorry, Ladante. And that maybe we just need to compare them. And I think it's important we do that to see how he compares to our current defenders. And I'm quite sure they played equal amount of games. While you wait for me to bring up Data MB to compare them, let's hear from Bobby. Bobby, your thoughts. Would you like the club to sign re-sign Mark Guehi? If yes, how much will be a fair price?
Yeah, I have to go along the lines of I'm not sure we need him. I can't really see where he will fit. I mean, even if we sell somebody like the Sassy or maybe even Badiashile or both, anybody else coming in will be more rotational than not. And
Mm.
I don't see him after playing game in, game out for Crystal Palace. I don't see him, a bit of ego will be there. And part of the reason I think he left was to get first team football consistently. So I don't see that. There's a lot of rumors going around, agents trying to sell players. January is coming close. So we're going to be getting this. But I wouldn't take it seriously.
Yeah, Dante, you have any response to that? And if you're in the chat, let's get your thoughts. Let's hear you up. Would you like Chelsea to re-sign Mark Guehi? For me, I'd say no. That's a small opinion anyway. But Dante, let's hear you if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, but I'm saying at the moment I would take him over Colwell and Badiashile any day. He's a much better defender. He's that more calm head. He plays, with composure. He's a leader. He's always directing. So I would take him over those 100%, and he would be an upgrade over those 100%. He'll be an upgrade. I still would not sign him, no, because I think we need to go if we do sign someone like that for a price like that. It needs to be a much better, even better player. Like I said, like a Bastoni, a world class player. So yeah, I think this has come up a lot because also then let's not forget Shalabar's there, and he would probably be a make weight in that negotiation if that was to take place. So it's probably an opportunity for both clubs, and maybe to push Shalabar to Crystal Palace. Maybe give us 25 for him, and we'll give it another 25, and maybe there's probably discussions. But yeah, like I said, would I take him over there right now and have him in our defense? 100%. He's way better than those two, in my opinion, and at what he does and how he plays, his composure on the ball, his leadership quality, his strength, aerially, everything. Yeah, he's a very good defender. He's a solid defender. And it doesn't matter that he left. Yeah, of course he left to get an opportunity. And so should most of them, because if they're not playing, you need to leave and get an opportunity. It doesn't matter. He's gone there. He's done himself. He's become a captain there. And he started for England as a central defender. So that's pretty high level he's been playing at. So um, I like him. He's a good defender, but yeah, I still wouldn't sign him, no, because the price. And yeah, I think if we do play that price and we need to really, really, really upgrade and go for a world-class defender, I would go for someone else. But if there's no other options available and we do lose, like I said, Badiashile, Disasi, Shalaba's going to leave, I still wouldn't mind having him in there for that reason.
Yeah, I don't think we should sign him. In my opinion, I don't think it's good enough. But who am I? Just give me 1 second here. I'm trying to log into my Data NB account. It's full of nonsense. I created this the other day still. Dante, go ahead. You can ask another question while I address this quickly. We need to compare him with our current defenders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Have a look at the comparisons. Yeah. Yeah, look, that's my opinion on him. I think he's a very good solid defender. So yeah, and he's definitely an upgrade on these two at the moment. Colwell might be one day, but his shield, we don't know what's going on there. Like I said, one game looks amazing like last game, but this game he was back to his original self again, being very inconsistent. So yeah, I don't know if Badishil will ever turn into that player, to be honest. He's had quite a few years now to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see if he does. But yeah, not too convinced at the moment.
Badishil is one player I'm not going to give up on. I know he's a good player, and I'm going to continue to defend him, and he's proven that's the case. And I don't think it's fair to judge him, given that we made a lot of changes in our lineup yesterday, leading to the defensive line. Now you can say the defensive line not being protected properly. Yeah, go ahead. What you're saying?
The
errors he made were individual errors.
Okay, go ahead, Bobby. But pressure from the opposition could lead to that, Dante. Go ahead, Bobby. Sorry, apologies.
I have to say, I do have some doubts about Badiashile. But two things come to mind here. First of all, we have to remember yet again, this is a developing side with developing players. He always was that. People look at Badiashile and they forget his age. I think he's about the same age as Colwell, if not even younger. Another thing there is that Badiashile was missed most of last season due to injury. He has been coming back, but before you hit your stride, you tend to need to have a few games in a row, and he's not had that. Partly because he can't, since he's coming back from injury, and partly because there are other options that have pushed him into either the bench or just playing these sort of games, which will do him good. Now, is he the long-term future for Chelsea? I do have my doubts. I'm not sure he's good enough, but it's going to take time. If we're going to take this development project seriously, we are going to have some patience. We have patience with some players and not for others.
Bobby, just sorry to
Noni,
cut in. I think it
everybody's.
depends where we finish this year. That'll be a big factor.
Yeah, absolutely. But, no matter where we finish this year, his performances have to show improvement for there to be a decision to keep him at the club. I'm glad he's playing. I hope he has some form, because that will put a price tag on him and give him value. That's probably another reason they're pushing him out there, so he has some value rather than us just completely losing money on him. But he is a developing player, and we talk about Modric, and okay, Modric going for big money, a lot of profile around him, but people are being patient there. Noni, the same thing. I think one or two of our defenders, especially like him, deserve that patience
How
because
many
of
seasons would
their
you give
age.
Bobby? How many seasons do you define that? How many seasons would you give Badiashile?
Well, is it a matter of seasons or a matter of consistently playing? This is the thing. We can't count last season. That's for sure. We can't. He just wasn't available due to injury. The season before, he had just arrived. Um, and did he do well? Yeah, I think he even had an injury then. That sort of cut his stride. So it's hard to measure. The only person that can really know his value and the rate of his progress is Maresca, who watches him day in, day out in training. But I believe you're right. By the end of the season, we will start to see and know exactly what sort of player he is. Um, yeah, I mean, yesterday I didn't think he did too badly, to be honest. Maybe others don't feel that way, but I can't remember too many mistakes. I mean, Tosin, as commanding as he was, there was at one time I think he passed the ball wrongly, or he was robbed anyway, and yeah, he
Yeah, one
recovered
time, yeah.
eventually. Yeah, but I don't know. Badiashile really, I would like to see a fit Badiashile, and I would like to see him play maybe just like he did this time around. He played in Leicester and he played in the Conference League 90 minutes each time. So he's had two back-to-back games with a short turnaround. Um, yeah, we just have to watch him and see what he does this season. The one thing Badiashile has always been good at is his passing game. I think he does have a good range. But the actual defending, I'm not too sure. Aerially, he seems to be improving. So yeah, you're right. I think we judge him at the end of the season.
Yeah, and just quickly before we look at the spider chat we have on the screen. Just give me 1 second here. What do we have here? We've read that one. Yes, I would love if your club will sign Mark Guehi back. And Shay Wendy, thank you for joining us. Damian Bailey is saying, happy for the win. Don't take all goals when we get them. Yeah, we don't take all our chances. But nice to see you, Mr. Bailey. And thank you for joining us. And if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Badia Shile is 23, Wild Cowell is 21, and the CC is 26. Yeah, we have to consider those factors. The age factor. We cannot trust these directors to sign defenders and goalkeepers after they signed the Cecilia, Yoshile, Tosin Sanchez, Petro. Tosin is an excellent player, in my opinion. Badishil is also an excellent player. If anything, Bobby explained perfectly why he believes he's struggling, and I'm inclined to believe that's the case. He was out for a while, came back, wasn't the same, and started recovering gradually, in my opinion. And I think on the Enzo Maresca, he hasn't been that bad, but that's just my opinion anyway. We cannot trust these directors. I think we've read that one again. The CC is the only player we should part ways with, and he should be replaced with a right back who can also play as a centre back. That may well happen. Okay, look at the spider graph we have here. For Badia Chile, I didn't see anything for 24
Can I say
25.
something on that point?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's sort of brought something I've had in mind because there's been rumors of us trying to have a look at Jules Koundé again. How realistic that is, I don't know. But the whole Reece James, um, Gusto still being somewhat developmental and has the occasional injury himself.
Mhm.
I don't think, I mean, unless I understand that Achimpong is now training with the first team again. Whether that's just because of the Reece James issue, they've thought, okay, screw it, let's just keep him in the loop until he goes or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe it means that they're making headway with discussions. I don't know. But Achimpong, this would have been an excellent opportunity for him because this would have been the time to start to groom him in at least that right back position as young as he is, because there's a hole there. I'm not confident that we'll ever see Reece James back to what he was. I think this injury
That's
has,
unfortunate.
that's it's just my opinion.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Ben Jacobs, came out with, though, it wasn't the hamstring he pulled before, it's now a new hamstring. And I'm like, okay, he has hamstring problems rather than a hamstring problem. That sort of thing, does it ever really get healed? You're constantly compensating on whichever are the fitter hamstrings you've got. It's a Ferris wheel. That it just I you know I my confidence has been shot with his recovery, to be honest, simply because of how it's gone. We've seen it. He can't really play back-to-back games. He comes back. They say it's a minor injury, then he's gone again for weeks, months. They've said 6 weeks. Well, you and I both know 6 weeks usually ends up being probably towards the end of the season, or indeed pre-season. He's not played a December run for the past 3 seasons. All this is a huge worry. It is a huge worry. I love Reece James. Everybody does at Chelsea, but I think the signs are not good. Not just for his Chelsea career, but for his career full stop. The signs are not good at all. So the whole Jules Koundé thing, um, Achipong not really being secure. I can see us going for a guy that can play that position. This guy for is it Genk? Brown, the youngster that looked so dangerous when they played against us. I
Gent,
can
is it? I think that's Gent. I confuse the
Genk.
names too. Yeah,
Genk is it that
that
he
one ends in
looks.
T. The one we played against ends in T.
Well, Gent, all Belgium teams
Yeah,
all
yeah,
sound
yeah,
alike
yeah,
to
yeah.
me. But yeah, I mean, he looks promising. I think it's time to start sniffing around that, especially if they are multifactorial. By that, I mean the Swiss Army knife type of player that Maresca likes, who Brown is. Left side, right side, midfield, centre back. He can fit all those positions just like Vega can. But I
I think we
Okay,
lost.
looks like Bobby he has a connection issue. Dante and Banford, and those of you, the audience at home, if you're paying attention, this is Mark Guehi compared to Wesley Fofana. Yep, Guehi's 24, Fofana is 23. Okay. And pass is 60. I don't know if that's about
Can you
90
hear me
minutes.
now?
I've said I'm going to mention these guys. Forward passes. So,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, go ahead.
Oh gosh, so I don't know what happened there. I saw something flash up on my phone. Did you hear what I was saying about the Jules Koundé and it's time we start
Yeah. We
looking
heard
at them?
everything. To us, just went about a few seconds. We didn't hear.
All right, okay. So I won't bother.
Okay. So Dante, you guys, if you see how Guehi compares to comparing Guehi's numbers
Which
stats.
color? Sorry, I can't see which one's which, coach.
The orange is Mark Guehi.
Yeah, would think
Yellow
so. Yeah,
is Wesley Fofana.
yeah.
And I think even without looking at this, I did say that I'm not too sure about Guehi's ability on the ball. Ball carrying Fofana smoked and passes smoke not I wouldn't say smoke but better than him. Forward passes completed forward percentage slightly better. Aerial about the same, but defensive actions and anything like you said, he's a solid defender. You did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
England
much
starting
better.
centre back.
Sorry.
England starting centre back for the whole
Yeah,
Euros.
yeah.
He was a
Defensively,
starting centre back.
Dante,
he's
but
really good.
the English team, we can all know that the English team hasn't done so good over the years. So if he's having a first team selection in this current English team, I wouldn't be that surprised. But as I was saying, is it that good
They
to?
did pretty well, England in the Euro. What do you mean they
They
didn't
did
do well?
well.
They
They
did very
reached
well,
the
especially
final.
Well,
defensively.
in recent results, they lost to Greece at home.
Yeah, he didn't. That's not a competition. That's just I'm talking about proper competition in a major tournament. He
Really?
was a starting
Okay,
centre back.
no problem. I know you
Yeah, big
really
difference
like
from Greece.
McGuire, but honestly, this
No, but
argument I don't.
it's not the case of. It's not about liking him. He's an excellent defender, but there are aspects of his abilities overall as a footballer that
Mm.
I question if we're going to
Yeah,
sign him for Maresca. His ball playing ability, and I'm not too sure how he deals with persistent pressure. Whether he
Yeah,
panics and
that's
just
Crystal
like with
Palace as well,
the issue
coach.
with
They don't play like that. Yeah,
yeah,
they don't
so
play like
exactly.
that.
So I don't think he's currently you can argue until proven otherwise, it's not suitable to the way Maresca plays.
But
Well,
But England played
honestly,
like that.
if you look at the situation right now, as I was saying, there are so many players. I even forgotten about Tosin. Tosin's first season hasn't been that good. Probably he's going to make a lot of sense when we go into the next season and we tend to see him more. And bringing in another player, that means we need to let go some of these players. Honestly, to me, I don't think Maguire is all that better than some of the players we have out here. If you
yeah.
want to bring somebody, you need to do more upgrade. Like I wouldn't mind bringing back Rudiger. We know he has been here already. He was so fantastic. He know the football club. You can bring in some defenders out there, center backs, and I don't know if we have a lot of them. Maybe we can look into Italy or somewhere. But honestly, if you are bringing Maguire, there is nothing he's going to bring into the team. We have Maguire in our teams right now. Then what was the point for us to let Chaloba, leave? I mean, these are some of the questions you'll be wondering. Why would they take such, decision? Honestly, for me, I don't think Maguire should be joining Chelsea, and I don't think he's going to make any difference. He's going
No,
to.
rumors are that he's keen on rejoining Chelsea. But
Yeah.
let's go ahead
That's
with
a
the
very good
comparison.
point
Yeah,
about Chalobah. I mean, what's the point getting rid of Chalobah for Mark Gui? That's makes no
Chalobah
sense.
comes across to me as he's actually better on the ball than
Yeah,
Maguire.
He
far
is.
better.
He's a better
Yeah.
defender. Full
He's a
stop.
very, very strong defender, and it doesn't make sense for you to
Come on, Bobby. He's not a better
Chalobah.
defender than Mark
I wouldn't
Guehi.
go to the extent of saying he's a better defender, but better on the ball.
Honestly, if you should leave Chalobah in Crystal Palace and you bring Maguire, then I would say that probably you don't know what you are doing. You can bring Chalobah, give him, the opportunity for him to play under Maresca because he hasn't got the chance to play under this manager.
And
Yeah,
So
but,
Cordina, have you seen
there are
Chalobah
reasons
play
why
for Crystal
that's not going
Palace?
to happen, and Chalobah makes a lot of mistakes.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
2 goals. He's at fault for
beyond
2
that,
of your
actually,
goals.
there are other reasons. He did ask to leave when Bayern came calling. Bayern still under Thomas Tuchel at the time, and there's a pattern if you've been paying attention with the new owners. If they sense that you're no longer interested in being here, it doesn't matter whether you change your mind or not. You're gone, in my opinion. But let's see what else we have here. Let's continue with the comparisons. Big up to you too, Mabas. Nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show.
But
Big
Coachella,
up.
I have something quick. Do you think Chalobah stand a chance of joining the English national team because TT is around and as you know, he likes the young man.
England, they're
No.
blessed with a lot of centre backs, and
Okay.
right now, with a few games he's played for Crystal Palace, he's
Alex.
made 2 mistakes leading to a goal. Right? Is it
Oh,
two
okay.
in total?
I
Two
really
crucial
watch.
mistakes.
Yeah,
Yes, two
so
critical
that's
errors.
too much.
Okay.
If he gets called up to represent England, a lot of people will be asking questions. And yeah. So let's see what else we have here. Big up to my okay, big up to you too, Mabas. Nice to see you. I am super happy with the win against Heidenheim, a town in Germany. Hopefully, starts Philip Jorgensen starts against Aston Villa. So thank you for that. What else do we have here? Anything else? And Vic is saying here, what? Yeah. Just leave me alone, man. Go back to your work and leave me alone. Okay, let's look at this, Dante. Are you seeing that ball carrying passes and forward passes completion percentage? I think. Yeah, we know that. We don't need to see this spider chart actually
Yeah,
to
I
know
know.
that Fofana is better at ball carrying and passes and forward passes and aerial ability. I really would know Fofana is better than him. But
He's
we
not
know
better. He's not
defensive
better than him.
aspect of the game, like getting the job done as a defender, that Guehi is better than you can say the defenders we have right now. But everything counts. We can leave out one. I think if he comes,
And we
probably
go
he's
back.
going to
Sorry,
struggle.
coach. We go
Yeah.
back to that saying you need a player. You need a player like Gehi, and you need someone like Fofana next to him to have that balance. You need that balance in there. You can't have two Fofanas next to each other in the central defense. It just doesn't work.
But Fofana, for me, he brings that aggression we need, but he needs to become.
Correct.
I hope.
One of them.
Yeah.
You need that calm head and that strong defender that can read the play and the defensive awareness, win
So
those
you're saying
duels, win the
Guehi reads the
headers.
game very well?
Correct. You need that balance. You can't have Fofana, Fofana and Colwell, for example. Colwell likes to do that a lot as well. And what have we seen this season? Both of them doing the same thing at the same time a lot of the time. We've got caught out and we're leaking goals because of that. And their positioning is not the best when one of them leaves and one of them stays. They don't cover
Okay.
each other very well at all. And we've conceded goals nearly every game because of that. We're missing, and we've been pushing Tosin to start because of that reason, because he is that more calm presence, bit more of an organizer as well, like we saw against Heidenheim. He organized that back line to a T to keep everyone in line and the offside trap. He was the organizer of that. He was that man. I have not seen Colwell and Fofana do that, communicate like that and do that ever. So yeah, they've got the talent, but you need that balance. You need a proper defender there to balance that central defense. If you don't have that guy there, that defense is never going to be good because it just doesn't work as well. It's very, very rare where you'll see something that'll work when you have two players similar playing in that position like that. You need a Gehi. You need a Gehi to have a Fofana next to him to work, to have that
Okay, so the
balance.
question then should be his ball playing ability. Is it good enough that you can accommodate him without
Yes.
not?
If you watch
Is he? Would
England,
you say he's better on the
yeah,
ball than the CC, and he's able to deal with still you could say perform
yes,
effectively
yes.
under pressure
Yes, don't
more
forget
than
he
the
played on
CC?
Lampard. Don't forget he played on the Lampard that did that. They were all playing out from the back, and he was bombed forward many times and scored goals as well. He couple of shots as well. So he played that style. Yeah, he's not playing it at Crystal Palace because that's not how they play. But for England, again, he played that style again for England as well because that's how they play from the back. They like to play it out. They like to pass it with Stones from the back. Him and John Stones. Stones would be the one that goes out, does that, and then he was the one that's sitting back more. So if you watch England, he's a good passer of the ball. It's not a problem. But defensively, he's that solid, very solid defender. Look, people are saying that but England did very well at the Euros, and the defense was the reason they did very well as well, especially the defense that got them very far. So he was the starting centre back. He was the main man in that defense. So look, he did very well. I was very impressed what I saw there. I saw leadership. I saw composure. I saw proper defending. We don't have a player like him in the squad. The only one closest to him is Tosin. Yeah, Tosin is the only one closest to him. But yeah, he's better than Tosin. He's a much better player, defender than Tosin as well.
Okay, so should we bring Tosin in now?
You can bring it up. Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah,
I'm just
let's
going by
add
eye
Tosin
test. I don't
there.
know. I don't know the will, but eye test. Yeah, he's better.
No, I mean we're here to compare them, right? So I'm not
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
why
yeah.
that is like that. Aldara Bioyo. There's 23-24 Fulham, both Fulham. So let's go 23-24, right?
Yeah, he won't really have Chelsea, will he? So yeah.
Yeah, volume is important. The volume of games he played that season, 981. I mean, the disparity between the number of games isn't that bad. So Tosin, we know passing is his thing. He actually
Correct.
is better in terms of his passing range is better than that of who was that again? That was Fofana. We know that.
And
For
Ariel,
passes, everything. Aerially, he's better than all of them. Miles
'cause he's
better
very
than
tall.
all
Yeah.
of them. Yeah,
Yep.
but in terms of
100%.
defensive actions, even what's his name? Fofana is a bit better than him. But
Exactly.
in
So you
time,
look at that
yeah,
better
yeah,
defender there, even by stats. I'm going to buy this, but if you look at those, the dominant defender, proper defensive player there is Gehi,
yeah, miles away than them.
and hence is well, you know what? How I go by world class is basically if you're a starter for your country and you major tournament, you're a starter for a big country, you're pretty much world class. Really, it's debatable because he's playing for Crystal Palace. Unfortunately, if he was playing for a big club, I think it would be a no brainer. But what I saw from him, what he did, I think he proved to me that he's world class defender. What he did at the Euros.
And in terms of ball carrying, I think we all know that Fofana, yeah, he's the chief in in that department. That ball carrying is the reason why in most cases, if when he plays in the right center back position or a right back position if we have issues in that department. So let's bring, who else do we bring in? Levi Cowell, right?
If you want, up to you.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I
bring
guess.
in Levi Cowell on. Let's leave him alone against Guehi. No need to have all of them there. So let's compare. So we're going to decide what we do here. There's Levi Cowell 24-25, Levi Cowell Brighton 22-23. So let's go 24-25.
Yeah,
Okay. You
pretty
know, we
much.
have a lot of ball playing defenders. We've always known that's the case.
Yes.
All right. So Cowell beats him passes, forward passes, progressive passes. He beats him in all those departments. Ball carrying, he beats Cowell a bit. Slight, but you can say pretty much
Yeah.
the same thing. Aerially, they're pretty much the
Same.
same
Yeah.
thing. Duels, Cowell is close, but Gohi beats him there. Defensive action is not even close, but Cowell, not bad. The disparity for me, I don't think you'd say he's much of an upgrade to Cowell, in my opinion.
Cole has got the potential, but one thing you don't see on that graph is mistakes and errors leading to goals, etc. I can guarantee you, Cole is it's way up there, and positioning. That comes down to the eye test more than these stats. But yeah, Cole, we all know he's got the potential, but that's we don't know when that's going to happen. I'm still waiting to see that. I don't see it. So yeah. That's in the future, maybe we when he's 24, we're like, get him, he might get it, but that's a while away. But yeah, definitely he's got the potential. We all know that he's got the potential, but yeah, for me, I would take him over Colwell in a heartbeat. I think you're muted, coach.
Did we lose?
He's muted, coach. You're muted.
I'm saying maybe we should also go to Cowell of 22-23. That would tell us a lot. And Mabas is saying no, Dante. We need a Thiago Silva type of. I say we have that type of player already in Badishile. If he starts doing well, he's cool-headed, can read the game very well, excellent passing range.
Come
I
on,
think he
coach.
actually
Don't
does
compare
have a
Silva
better
to
passing
Buddy
range than
Shield.
Thiago Silva. Sorry.
He's not even close to Buddy Shield. Don't
No,
compare
in
that.
terms of, you could say cool-headedness, in my opinion.
Okay, that's one thing you want to say, but yeah.
Yeah, but passing range, what's the Badishile has better passing range than Thiago Silva, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course, because he's more of he's a
More
smart
of a
player.
ball playing defender.
You see that big yellow line there, defensive antics and defensive awareness. That's basically awareness and smarts. Yeah, that's what a top defender needs to have. Like a really top defender, that is number one for me. That's always the most important part.
In other aspects, I think we've always known we have ball playing defenders and they will always do much better in that department. Volume is important. Yeah, volume is important. I've always said that also. Let's see what else we have here. Guehi has more defensive actions than Cowell, and that's enough for Dante to make the purchase. Dante will say, give me 3. I like I like it. Yeah.
I didn't say that. All I'm saying is that he's a much better defender than anything we have at the moment.
Yeah, no. In all honesty, if we're to judge by what it means to be a defender, he's a much better defender. But if we're going by the manager's preferred approach, and again, it's important we pay attention to those other aspects too. So we can't just go by one.
Yeah, the ball playing is very important.
But the fact, Houston, the fact that our players that we've compared to him so far, the fact that they're doing better in those, you can say, critical metrics doesn't mean that he's bad in that metric. It just means, as I've said before, we already know we have excellent ball playing defenders. But that's a different thing from being a good defender. But go ahead, you were saying something.
Correct. And hence Maresca was forced basically to play 2 defensive midfielders there all the time so they can cover our centre backs basically. So Yeah, that should tell you a lot there. I know ball pelling is very important, but I think if you have one solid defender there that can still play decently the ball like Gehi can, then that makes a massive difference. Then you don't need that extra defensive midfielder. You can actually have more balance and have a bit more attack. So that's the way I look at it. I would rather have a really solid defensive player there that's still decent on the ball, like where he is, because he does it for England. He's done it under Lampard when he broke through. That's the way Lampard played as well. So I've seen him do it. So that's the only reason I say, because I've actually seen him do
So
it. He
you're
can do
saying
it.
because of you say the fact that he's smoking all our defenders and the defensive actions metric that yeah
Important. Yeah, it's very
it's
important.
worth
So
it.
that
Are you saying it's worth paying that much money for him for that?
No, and again, I'm going back to that. I would not pay that much money for him. I would. There's other options you would have available, but if there's no others, and the discussion was, would I have him over our current defenders? And that for me is yes, 100%. I would. That was the discussion. But I did say I would not spend 70, 80 million on him. Probably no, not. I would not do that. I already said that already.
All right, let's see. Gohi is not a massive upgrade, and that's where I stand. And even though I don't like agreeing with Dante, but that's really where I stand. He's not coming to hold the bench when he can walk into Newcastle and Aston Villa. That's another way to see it. We can have we cannot have two Jacksons next to each other for striking position because yeah. But big up to you, big up, big up. Remember when I said that Kachila passes hand right and before. Okay. All right. Let's see. Maya the rapper. Nice to see you, my bro. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Maya has
Yeah,
been
bro.
a member for a long time now. His icon is changing gradually. Now that his icon is the head of a lion, I think it's close to becoming the lion with the torch. But congratulations, thank you, Maya. We appreciate you being a paid member of the community. That goes a long way. To win the league, a team needs decision, luck, power, referees, goals, clean sheets, and even then you need a miracle. Wow. Dante, you're everywhere. You've heard him tell him that he's everywhere. He enjoys talking football. More importantly, Guehi is a Thiago Silva type of centre back. I'm trying to agree, but I can't. Thiago Silva is excellent on the ball, and Guehi isn't excellent on the ball, in my opinion. While Colwell is just a faster version of Cahill, as much as I like Colwell. Wow. I don't like it this morning. What do you mean by that? But for before we bring in, let me just do that quickly. Colwell of 22-23, because I mistakenly clicked on that and I did see something different, surprising there. Just give me 1 second here. Let me bring in Colwell here. Colwell 22-23. Still, but everything else, I think Colwell isn't far off Mark Guehi. Guehi is more experienced, in my opinion. Overall defensive action, he's better. But here, Duz, Colwell smoked him. Colwell under Deservi was an animal, in my opinion. Aerial percentage, he smoked him. Ball carrying, he smoked him. Passes, we know that he's saying forward passes, progressive passes, all those things we know. But just that one thing that Dante values the most, defensive actions. But I still say we shouldn't go for him. It just doesn't make sense right now, given the price. More importantly, so I understand your argument. But Banfordinho, thoughts on what the comparisons we've made? Again, yeah, we've gone through on the screen so far.
Yeah, so as I told you on the argument side, you know where I belong to, and I still think that even sometimes the stats will give you something, and the actual, game time will also give you something. So sometimes I don't really believe in the stats, but if you look at our defenses that we have, they are well built for this Premier League. Look at Cowell, look at Fofana, and height-wise, like what is Gohi coming to do at the center back when it comes to area balls and all those kind of things? That will be, disadvantage on our side. And if you look at his performance over the years, although he's part of the English game, you can bring any statistics that is for Guehi. But if you compare him to some of our boys, I believe it's either they are very close in terms of their performance, their ability, and everything, and maybe he's quite experienced as compared to some of the guys. I don't think he's that experienced as compared to Fofana. Probably they will be in the same age range when it comes to the number of years that they've played in the Premier League. So my question is, if you should bring Maguire probably in January, who are you going to get rid of? We should also know that there is a project that is taking place. We have Asamino, he is still going to join the team. We have the Sassi, things can change. We have Badia Shield.
You know, honestly, I don't think anything changes for decisive, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. so,
Go ahead.
so like, what will be the action when Guehi joins Chelsea and things are not going the way we were expecting? That means we are also going to throw some money out. So for me, I think we can give Maresca some time. Let him look around. The scouters and all those people can look around. Just the sporting directors can work around the clock. They can go to different places, look at so many players, and you can bring in somebody with a very cheaper, option. Let's also not forget that Viega can also play at the center back. We have so many options. So for you to go waste money and bring Maguire at this current moment, honestly, I don't think it's that necessary. And if you look at our performance, it's quite decent. We've been winning some games. It isn't bad like as compared to last season. If you say last season, yeah, you wanted to bring Maguire, yeah, people will say, okay, go bring him. But this is a season, everything looks good. We are the third position. If we are able to win our game and Man City drops some points, we could go to the second position. So everything is going right for us. Why then you have to change all the plans that you have for this season? So for me, I think we need to relax a little bit. There are more players coming up. They can invest somewhere than to bring Maguire, who will become a liability. I'm not saying he's going to do bad when he joins Chelsea, but I don't see how he's going to, survive in a team that they didn't even, cherish him, or probably they were not appeased with his performance when he was here. So we should just let it go and look elsewhere and bring some fantastic players.
Yeah, Dante, as much as I understand your points, I'm sticking with Vic today. Yeah, he's not a massive upgrade to what we have, and especially at that price, I'd say where you and I agree, the price is definitely an
I
issue.
agree,
I don't
100%.
think we should go for him. It just
I
doesn't
agree
make
with that.
sense.
The only way I look at it is, say, Crystal Palace will take 50 million for him. What if we Shalabaz and then Shalabaz stays there? Would you then take Guehi for like 20-25 million pounds?
No.
Do
Still
we
no.
have any
Regardless.
clause? Do we have any clause before we go to tie
Clause as in
in his
buyback?
contract?
Me?
Sell
For
on clause.
We don't know. I doubt it. I
First,
doubt it. It's been a while now, so I doubt it.
Chalobah, we haven't sold Chalobah, but yeah, Ty, where do you want to come in? I'm sure you've been following the show, but big up to you, Ty. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Your thoughts on where do you want to come in? Up to you. Let's hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're discussing rumors that Chelsea are interested in signing Maguire. He and subsequent reported that he's keen on rejoining Chelsea Football Club. Is he a player you would like to see Chelsea resign? And apparently, I'm quite sure you've heard how much it's been mentioned, something north of £16 million. And if we don't have any first refusal or it's a buyback clause, yeah, then we're paying definitely the asking price.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, we can't
Crystal
hear you,
clear.
Ty.
Who is the mic sewn in?
Who's Mike's is doing? Oh, wow. Okay, congratulations, Ty. You've bought
Yeah.
the new mic. It's excellent. The sound is clear, loud
Okay.
and clear. And
Okay,
yeah,
that's
Sound much
wonderful.
older. That's very
Wonderful.
so you're just here to test the microphone. Let's
No,
get
no,
deep.
no, man. No. No. I wanted to test it out, yes, but I wanted to come on. You're not
No,
serious, right?
no. Go ahead, Ty. You know I was kidding. Go ahead, bro.
Right. For that player, because I'm horrible at pronouncing these players' name. Um, I think in terms of what he's been doing at Crystal Palace,
A
he's been
name
absolutely
destroyer.
yeah. But what he's been doing not only for club but for country is impressive. I think in terms of what we need, he's very attentive. Sometimes he can be shaky, but he's more on the more reliable side in terms of being able to to do the job that is necessary. So I would consider it. For the price that I heard you say, um, it sounds like a good amount, but at the same time, I think it would have been better that we signed him. I think the clause that we had expired the summer that just ended, or was it the summer before that?
Ooh.
Before that, yeah, 2 summers ago,
Before that,
yeah.
right? So I think that well, at the same time, he wasn't really doing good at that time, so I can understand why we perhaps weren't sure and we didn't want to do that. But I think the first refusal, as you said, is probably gone. But he's an option I would take. He's way better than what we have in terms of centre backs, other than obviously Levi Cole, who is slightly inconsistent this season. But he's good on the ball. We need players who can pass off when they're not under pressure and when they're under pressure. So that's definitely something that I would look into. But it kind of looks funny to me that we're going for the player that we sold, and we could have gotten him for cheaper if we had made the move earlier.
But at the time, we didn't have the need for him, really.
Well, I think we always did because Silva was always going to leave, and you'd have to prepare for the future. But
Hmm.
I guess at the same time, you sign players like Abadi Shield and you sign players like Fafana, and you want to hope that they'll be able to do what you expect them to do. So I can't blame the club, but I think to replace Silva, that was something that we should have prepared for rather than to be in a situation where we're in where we don't have anybody that is reliable or attentive as he was.
You there, Ty, or you're through? You,
I'm through.
all
Yeah.
right. All right, thank you. Your mic works very well, so you can go now. Bye bye now. Uh,
No, no, no. Wow, wow, wow. No, no. Is that what you think of me? Is that what you think of
uh,
me,
you
coach?
know I'm kidding, bro. You
Yeah,
know
I
I'm
know.
kidding.
I know. I know. I know.
All right. Yeah, we've talked about him already. Coach, you and I on the same side today. Let's isolate Dante. Let's see how good he can be as a lone six. Coach out for not passing his handwriting classes. Go away. Congratulations to Ty for buying a new mic. It's not easy. It's making good progress. Ray Brandon, good intro, excellent intro. You need to show me who did created that intro for you. Though I'm gonna have a lot of input, I want to read you our intro to Sancho anytime, anywhere. Nani, hmm, maybe time to rest. Possibly. I think he needs to rest, but unfortunately, the fact that he started on the bench means that he starts the next game. I'd be shocked if that doesn't happen. But let's see what happens here. Yeah, a good point there. I think Benfica has already spoken about that. But I wanted us to who else do we compare to Gohi there? But
Uh,
in all honesty, Levi
you
Cowell
compare everyone.
under the current he's managing in the French league right now. Under the Zervi, he was a monster, really.
Yeah, but he didn't play that much. So yeah,
He didn't play that much under the Zervi. Okay,
no, he didn't play that much.
all right. So
Colwell.
volume is important.
Yeah, yeah.
He played more games that season, 22-23, than Mark Guehi. He played 1,362 minutes. Mark Guehi played 1,189.
Is that in the youth, coach?
Not in the youth. Levi Cowell
Oh,
22-23. There's no way that's in the youth. Mark Guehi 24-25 actually. But let's go. Mark Guehi 22-23. We've compared those and he still did better than Mark Guehi. But go ahead. Who else should we bring in here?
I think you've compared all the defenders already.
Did we compare him with Badia Shile? Have we?
Yeah, we did. You had Badishil up there. You had
All
Fafana
right.
up there. I mean, it's pretty clear. We know. I mean, we all understand. We get it. I hope everyone knows Gay is a much better defender than all those players. But yeah, like I keep saying, if he's going to
But
cost
considering
70
all the
million,
factors, is not much of a. He will not be much of an upgrade to those ones.
he is an upgrade. But for that price they want for him now, it's not really worth it. Yeah, but like
Wow,
I
you're
said,
doubling down, aren't you?
yeah, if he's they want 50 million for him, and we throw Shalaba in there for 25 million, and then he's only 25 million pounds, I would definitely get him, and he's happy to come and happy to be part of the squad and start, and maybe not always start. 100% he'll be an upgrade on everything we have. He's the much better defender than anything we have. Much more solid. He would make that back line, like I said, you don't need to cover as much like we play with the defensive midfielders, because of he would be there. He's very good back there doing that. So it is an improvement, and I would take him every day over Colwell and that right now. If you look at it, I would definitely take him over our defenders that we have, our centre backs. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens and what direction we're going into. We'll have to see where we are at the end of December. We'll see where we are at the end of the season, and yeah, we'll just have to see. But one thing is certain, and I think pretty much Ty agreed with me there, that he's a much better defender than we have right now as centre back.
Yeah, and okay, yeah. I mean, we can do that. And Shay Wendy is asking, Coach, please any updates on the press conference. We'll do that in a bit. Just let's catch up with a match review exercise. Just remind me in a few minutes. But I think I'll remember. Gui needs to go out and learn. Yeah, I wanted to talk about him. Dante. Yeah, I thought at the time that since we were at the time looking for a more traditional leaning or maybe aligned number nine, that
Mm-hmm.
Gui he'd make a perfect signing for us. And also the fact that he came from La Masia, that's what you call the Barcelona Academy, right? Is that what you
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong? I thought maybe he'd be, you could say, good at dropping deep, participating in the play. But clearly that's not his thing, and it's not looking good for him, really. Um,
Yeah.
he
No.
needs to play again, and that highlights one of my arguments with regards to us not making a mistake of signing Victor Osimhen, because aside from being your stereotypical number nine, being it's a traditional number nine, whatever you want to call it, in a fluid approach, I think he'd struggle where he'd be charged to sometimes move to the flanks, drop deep, participate in the play, create chances for his teammates. He's not going to be as effective. He's thrived in teams where he played mainly as number nine, where once the team gets to the final third, they channel all the chances, majority of the chances they create through him. But under Enzo Maresca, we don't play that way. Whether he's willing to tweak his preferred aperture football to accommodate the tradition number nine, I don't know. But here's the thing. My point here is Gui, I don't think, unfortunately, as much as I've argued before that he has a place, and you at the time wonders that you don't see it happening. I he was just an opportunistic signing, and I don't think he has a future here. I'd be shocked if things change, and yeah, he starts firing all cylinders, gets an extension, yeah, to stay further at the club. I don't see that happening. Loan, do you think would end up just selling him, or do you think he lives on loan, maybe 2 seasons and then we'll sell him? But let's say you, Dante.
First things first, yes, he's 18 years old. People need to remember he's only 18 years old. That
So
is
a
very,
lot of
very young.
improvement.
Especially for a striker, that is very young, yes. So there is plenty of improvement. He's got very good attributes. He's got good height, pretty good physicality, although he's not that strong at 18. He's strong. It doesn't matter. He looks strong. Uh, he's got some good attributes, good touch, good this, but we should be number one, to be honest, the finishing, and that is lacking. The problem is,
I mean, we have to
the
be
fans
honest in
could have
terms of
scored a couple
sample
of goals.
size. He hasn't played a lot.
He hasn't played a lot. You can't really, yeah. And like I said, he's 18. We bought it, which is opportunistic buy, exactly what we bought him for. It's fine. He would most likely go on loan. You'll still probably get more game time in the Conference League, especially the game got up in the Conference League. We're playing very much teams that are like sort of Noah kind of level, so he's going to have more opportunities. Putting Nkunku in behind him didn't really help him because Nkunku does not know how to play with him there to do what he needs to do. Like you said, he doesn't really drop deep, but
Even when
I
he
already know
does, he
this
comes
season.
across as clumsy. In all
Yeah,
honesty.
but he's a number 9 more forward. He doesn't drop deep, and that's his game. But we did not play to his strength at all in this game. We did not.
And
There was only one.
that's one of the reasons why I think he will eventually get sold. And that's the
Yeah,
reason why I'm saying that highlights why we shouldn't sign Osimhen. Because they're the same.
exactly. Yeah. I agree, and I agree. I've only saw one fit the whole game up forward. So yes, with the two strengths, the way he likes to play, yes, that's fine. He's learning. He's trying to, obviously Maresca's giving him the confidence to play in these games, and he should because, hey, it's the Conference League. We need, get some experience. That's what it's all about: experience and exposure, basically. So he will most likely go on loan, and like you say, maybe, but in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, his body's going to change a lot. He can be a completely different player, coach. So it's one of those. We bought him cheap. We're going to loan him out 100% eventually. He was either going to get really good or just be good, and we'll probably sell him and make a good profit. So either way, it's a pretty good business decision for us. So that's what it was all about, in my opinion. And there is the opportunity there that he does develop into a much better player because he's very, very young, like I said. So that's a while away, though. That's a long way away.
Question for
So
you: in 2 years' time, do you think he'll still be here?
maybe on loan, yes.
In
Yes.
2 years' time, I think he'd be sold.
Coach,
Yeah.
in 2 years' time, he's still not. His body's still growing. He's still developing. He's not really, as a striker, no.
So you think
It's
he'll still be a Chelsea player, but out on loan in 2 years' time?
correct. Probably be part of the loan army. I think till 21 at least, he'll probably be part of that loan army. And then if he either sell him, make a profit, because by then you do have to take in consideration that he's been with us a couple of seasons, and then we're actually making a lot more profit when we do sell him as well. So you got to take that
Yeah.
in consideration. Yes. So that's
We
why
we, ju-
I
we
believe that's
jumped
the
on
case.
that transfer at the time because of the price tag, and he's a good player overall.
He is, and he, like I said, he can turn very good. He's got some of the technique there. I could see some of the technique, but there's a lot of tweaking and a lot of work still needs to be still quite raw, like I said from the beginning of the season. But he will get better. 100% he will get better, and you never know. You just never know how good he can get. But he needs that consistent game time, and he needs a system that will suit his style of play.
Yeah, that's an important point right there. You will concede a lot of goals. Let me be clear to you. I nominate Kuchi to be our number one central center back. His thing, I read the game very well, but I'm a lazy player. Honestly, you will concede a lot. Okay, let's see. Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
talk about a sitting center back, coach will literally be sitting on the ground. Yes.
You're gonna get back what you asked for. Yep. Maya the rapper, nice to see you, bro. Banfordinho, let's hear you. Mark G, what do you make of his situation? It's indeed a situation. He only gets to play midweek. Whether he plays in cup games, I don't see that happening. There are senior players that the manager, I believe, he'd be more concerned not to lose, not to get them to revolt, or maybe to he'd be, you could say, he'd prioritize their happiness over Mark Gui's happiness, in my opinion. Gui is 18, like Dante, he's already mentioned. I don't think uh he'd be an issue for the manager. It'd be easy to drop him than Nkunku, but let's hear you.
Yeah, that gentleman, I think he's still young. In the initial stages, he was showing a lot of, prospect about his future at Chelsea Football Club. But this is the Premier League, and as the previous gentleman said, obviously he will be going on loan very soon because at this point, I think it will be.
Just quickly, but for you, are you a politician? You always say, as the previous gentleman said.
I mean, you show some respect. That's I'm not a politician.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
So, as I was saying, obviously, I think he could be a squad player, and the future lies on him in a way, depending on how things will go. Because let's not forget, we still have some players out there who could have been given the opportunity to play for us. Somebody like Fofana never got the opportunity. That's the problem we have with our team, because sometimes we bring in the boys, we don't really give them the opportunity to play. But for him, as a player, I think the European competition is helping him. So he should do all he can to get into the first team when it comes to the Premier League. If he's unable to, get into the squad, then I guess they will send him on loan. And if they send him on loan, it will depend on how he's going to perform over there. If he's unable to do well, obviously it might be a very, very difficult situation for him to come back to the team. Let's not forget that we have Armando Broja and also Fofana on loan as well. So we have a whole lot of players we can look into. But for us to be a Champions League winning side, I still think that we need to bring in some striker that will compete with Jackson. We can never, rely solely on Jackson in a way that sometimes his performance is not that, consistent. He could perform very good today, and the next game it will be something else. So you need somebody who will come in with a lot of competition, and that's why maybe Osimhen, we should still try our luck and see if we could get him. If we can't get him, we can get that player from Lisbon. What is his name? Gakeris, or how do they call him?
You're correct.
Yeah, I think we can also look into that. So for now, I think McGuey should do everything possible, because we have a whole lot of players this time around that are fighting for the same position. So if you are able to get the opportunity, you need to utilize it. If you don't utilize it, obviously it's going to be a very, huge mistake on your side. So for now, I don't think he can get the first team, selection. He'll probably be a squad player, and maybe he can go on loan and get the necessary, experience and come back. That's what I see in this gentleman.
Yeah, I do think he will eventually live on loan. It just wouldn't make sense to keep him here. And yeah, he gets
Yeah.
to play every now and then. At 18, he needs to play week in, week out. Uh,
There was this boy who also was at
um,
the
let's
preseason.
see. Your lazy player. Okay.
There was this player. What is his
I
name?
got.
Basta or something. I think his name was Basta or something. He was an
Who?
attacker. There was this academy player. He scored against one of the German teams when we were playing the preseason games in the US. He has dreadlocks. I don't know what's his
What's
name.
his name?
That's the name I'm trying to get. I think he's also a striker. Maybe those at the comment section can give me his name.
Where does he currently play?
I don't know. I don't know whether we sold him or he's on loan. But I think he's also very good. He is a striker, young player.
Who's that? Okay.
Well,
Anybody on
we've
the
only
panel,
got
please, if you know who's referencing, please help us.
yeah, we've only got Shem up front. That is the young player.
I think
Washington, of
Basta or
course.
something. No, is it Basta? No, maybe. Yeah, but
Basto.
I think Basta or something.
All
No.
right.
No,
I can't
Yeah, I
quite
will check it. I
recall.
will check it and I will let
All
you
right.
know.
All
Yeah.
right. Your lazy player, KK, will not will not will be disappointed with that notion. I think he will be all right. Let's see the blue tiff again. What is he saying? I'm so sorry. It looks like he mistakenly timed out. I don't think it was a mistake. He mistakenly timed out Mob Bast. He probably got irritated. Interesting topic, loving it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Gentlemen, yeah, exactly. Politicians. Maresca said we're not in the title race. He knows exactly what he's doing. But he also did say in the same, I think in the same paragraph, the same sentence, correct me if I'm wrong, that doesn't mean no, we're not gonna win. So it's up to you decipher that and come back to me. He legit bruised my ego. I feel like we are title contenders after our recent results. Here's the thing. Mathematically, I'm going to say this. We've talked about this before. Mathematically, we are definitely title contenders. You can discount that. Even those that are 6 to 7, I'm going to get to Ty in a bit, please, before he gets angry and leaves. Um, um, so even those of third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth currently are title contenders. But if you see things from the perspective of where we're at with our project, in our project phase, we're not title contenders because the argument will not be we're not ready. We're not. You can say we still have a long way to go to compete with the best teams in the league.
Coach, I tend to disagree that we are not in contention. Like, look at Man City this season; they are not doing so good. So, what is the point of us not, competing for this year's title? Like, it's really possible. It's really really possible because I'm saying this based on some of the games that we've played so far. There were so many, games people thought we were going to lose, and we're winning it convincingly. So if somebody said probably the coach is trying to be more psychological and he wouldn't attract more, attention, and probably he will use that opportunity to get into the title race. But for me, I still think it's only just 9 points, and it's possible Liverpool can drop some points against some of these teams out there. So we shouldn't lose hope. I believe if they work so hard and we approach every game by game, we can, pull something out of that. So I don't think we are not into any contention. We can probably
All right.
compete with Liverpool and we can get something out there.
All right, Ty. Before I go back to the chat, two things: Mark Gee and the title question. But go ahead, Ty.
I have to check. I have to check if you can hear me first because I kind of turned. I
Okay, you're
turned.
here to test the microphone.
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah,
no, no,
we
no,
we
no.
can
I,
hear
I,
you.
I I turned it down, so I want to know if the audio is good. That's why.
Ty, the sound is crisp. No jokes.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah, the sound is excellent. So
okay, that's
go
good.
ahead. You're done testing, or should I?
No, 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 no.
Okay,
I just
test it.
wanted to know
Test it
because
with real comment. Let's go. Two things: Mark Gui and also the title question. Mark Gui, do you think he has a future here, or do you think he'd eventually be sold, irrespective of how he improves? Because I'm still gonna argue if the manager stays, if we keep the same manager, he'd eventually leave. Plus, look, we're still actively pursuing a new striker. Where does that leave him? Then that question, Margaret's question, and then the title race. If you say we're not in the title race, why? If you say we are, why? That Ty, let's hear you. Two questions.
um, so what I would say is that for Mark Dewey or whatever his name is, I don't know his last name pronunciation, but basically,
Game
um,
destroyer.
basically, I would say that I wouldn't say that he has a future. I mean, I do feel as if he's going to be one of those signings like we've seen with what's his name, Diego Moreira, where we signed him. I think we got him on a free, or we
On a
he was
free, on a free.
right, and then we ended up selling him. It's a case where you're taking those opportunities to get these players, and then given the fact that his career history is Barcelona, La Masia, and all of that, it's going to it's going to allow persons to become attracted to him. And obviously, if you're looking to sign a striker that is ready made or in a better place in terms of development, clearly you don't have a long term plan for him. And I do believe that at the age of 18, he's still young. He can still develop even further and he can attract other clubs. And I think that that's what the club is trying to do. We're trying to sign some players. So for persons who think that we're just signing a whole bunch of kids, there's a plan behind it. Some may stay if they actually seem as if they have great promise. We've seen that there is reports coming out that we're going to keep certain players next season. That's according to reports. So if that's the case, then I think that. But I think that this was a case where they saw a player that looked so promising, and they said, okay, let's get him in, and then we try to help him in his development, and then we sell him. Basically, like what the academy at Chelsea does. We get players in, we help them to develop, and then we sell them to get a profit. It's not something that people like to hear, but it's the facts, and that's what football is about these days. It's about business. A lot of clubs don't do what Chelsea have done, which is to give academy players the time to develop and then break into the team. A lot of them just develops them and then they sell them. So if Chelsea does it, I don't think it's something that it's abnormal or it's out
I
of the
mean, we've
ordinary.
been doing it since Abramovich days. It's
Exactly.
nothing new.
Right. So that's not the problem. And for the title race conversation, I talked about this before, but I think you raised the point as well. If you look at this the standings right now, the point standings, you can say that all the teams that are below us as well will be in the title race then. But if persons are going to say Arsenal are in the title race and mathematically Chelsea are ahead of them, well, based on the fact that they've scored more goals, then clearly you'd say that they are. But we're not ready for a title race or contending for the title rather, but we're in the title race mathematically. That's about it. I don't think we're ready. We're gonna slip up, and I remember who made the point previously about the fact that Liverpool can slip up and all of that. Chelsea can slip up as well because we have the charity gene in us. We love to give, and Christmas is coming up, so that's the best time to give gifts as well. So we have to realize that our squad is not perfect. It's not pitch perfect. We don't have a second 11, and that's something that is important. And we know we have had injury issues in the past, so I don't really think it's best to say that we're in the title race or we're contending for the title. From a philosophical point of view, I can't talk, man. I'm done talking.
Okay, good test, good test. The test went well. But that tie that microphone is excellent, really crisp. And I think I see the model you bought, the one with a light.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it's
RGB,
good. Yeah,
RGB. Yeah,
it's good. So Dante, I'm going to catch up with what we have. I'll come back to you to specifically talk about the manager's comment with regards to whether we are title contenders. I'd say my opinion of that comment is that he's saying we're title contenders without really saying we're title contenders. Because he talked about title, and then went back to saying that doesn't mean we're not going to win. What is he saying there? But let me just catch up with what we have here. I'll come back. I'll bring you on to speak about that. And Bobby is back. I'd like to get his thoughts on whether he thinks we're tied to contenders or not. Whatever he chooses, he believes is the case. He let us know why. Ringing the lab or Duran. Let's go, Keishan, my New York bro. Nice to see you, but Keishan, please do not block anybody here. You know what I mean, bro. Let's see. At this point, he's playing mind games. That's another way to see it, but the detail is in what he didn't say, or you can decipher it, take your time, analyze that comment. You'd see that, he knows technically we're in the title race. Whether he believes that from the perspective of where we are at in terms of the progress we've made so far with our project, whether we're there or not, that's up to him. But him saying, ending the sentence with, but that doesn't mean something to the effect of we're not going to win or we don't want to win. To me, tells me he's just, you can say, presenting a balanced response and not to, you can say, get our hopes all high. Do Arsenal have a better squad than Chelsea? I'd say no. We have better depth. Maybe they have more experience. Maybe. But we have better depth. See how they struggled in the absence of Bukayo Saka, absence of what's his name, Martin Odegaard. So I wouldn't go to the extent of saying they have, maybe even defensively they don't have, maybe defensively they have better depth. Yeah, maybe, but in other areas, midfield and attacking area, we have better depth than them. Defensively, arguably, they do have better depth than us. What do you mean mathematically? Are you Isaac Newton? I'm not. Go back to office. Please go back. Facts, coach. It all goes down to mentality. Though Xabi Alonso was in the same position. Here's what I'm gonna say here. He was in the same position, and yeah, he shocked a lot of people. The truth remains, saying that we're not ready, if you see things from the perspective of where we're at or the progress we've made with regards to our project, that doesn't mean that we cannot win it. but it's a factor to consider. That doesn't mean we cannot beat the odds of we're still our progress we're not there quite there yet. Yeah, it's a factor to consider, but that does not mean with determination and strong mentality and the manager knowing what he's doing that we cannot win it. So I hope that makes sense to you. Alonso, if you ask him at the time, he'd tell you, let's wait to the end of the season or something to that effect. But they were doing well. But they didn't, if they went into subsequent games when people thought, they were going to win it, if they went into following games with the mindset, we've already won it, chances are they'd finish second or third. So the manager knows exactly what he's doing. And that's what good managers do. Don't take anything for granted. Don't disrespect teams. We're again top. We're still third, right? We're still third, right? That doesn't mean we're going to win it. So I think he's responding the way he should respond. He's being cautious, which you don't want to get the players, you can say, to take games for granted. Or maybe I am waffling if we say we are in the title race. No, you're not wrong. Mathematically, we're still there. But beyond numbers, consider where we're at in terms of the progress we've made with regards to our project. So, Dante, your thoughts on the manager's comments? How do you read it? Do you differ? I don't know.
Look, coach, he's just keeping it open, basically. He's not going to say yes and he's not going to say no. He's just leaving a little bit of a door open there just in case. And he's basically being very honest and truthful. That's what I expect from him, because that's basically the truth. Yeah, where, like you say, mathematically, we're there, we're third. If you look at it now today, yes, we are. But that can change by week, to be honest. So
That could change by losing the next game or even drawing the next
exactly.
game.
So it changes week by week. So yeah, in that case, no. And I don't think we are. No, we'll know. The season starts. The tests are coming up now. Every 3 days, we'll have a game through December. So and through January. So we'll see. This is a tough time. If we come through that by the end of January, we'll know a lot more. If we're still in that position, well, then we know a lot more. So yeah, just like Maresca, it's a bit of a yes and a no. So it's a bit of everything, but realistically, no. Is there a chance? Yes, of course. But yeah, not Maya said there like Xabi Alonso. No, not like Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso inherited a team that was a Champions League team, top 3 team in Germany, established players in that team. Very different. He just took them to a little bit of a next level. So yeah, that was a little bit different. He already had the squad there and even improved it a bit more with a few signings. So a little bit different, not quite like that. We're a little bit different than that. We're a much younger team, way more inexperienced than that Leverkusen team. So,
but even at that, Dante, does that mean you can say for certain that we're not capable of winning the league?
Do we have the capability to win the league? If everything goes correctly, it's a possibility.
Yeah, exactly. But my point is, you cannot say certainly, because we have
not
the
now
youngest squad in the league that we cannot win it. We can. The question is, will we?
Probability-wise, coach, no, I can say not win. Probability, definitely not. Like I said, it's way too early.
I don't agree when you say definitely not.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. We can definitely not win it now. No, like I said, end of January, if we're in that position, well, then yeah, you can add it. But if we're 15 points off and we're in 4th or something, and like, no, you won't be able to win it. I don't think we got that in us to develop the players. I don't think we're there yet. There's a possibility, 100% there's a possibility. It's a very, very, very tiny, very small possibility because you can never rule anything. Said, no, we're not.
Yeah. Okay, but Bobby will come in. Okay, but for the let's Bobby be the one to round off this particular topic for us. Cannot wait for the December period to end. I'd be nice to see you. Big up to you. But for the let's hear you. Then we'll go to Bobby. He round up this topic for us.
When people say we are not ready, I tend to disagree. Although it's a new team, the coach is new, but if you look at the table right now, we've played a whole lot of matches. We've won a lot. Last season, by now,
how many games have we played, Bam? Sorry, we played 12, 13.
I don't know, but I think we've won. So far we've won almost. Let me check, or if somebody can check. But we've won a lot of games, and I know we've drew 4 games. And if you look at our standing right now, we've played almost all the top teams. We've played with City, we've played with Arsenal, we've played with Manchester United, Liverpool. So
Yes.
I guess we stand a whole lot of chances.
And you know those games will still come around again. The second,
Yeah, so
Correct.
okay.
after December entering into January, if they take things serious, because we've cleared most of the difficult games right now, and it's left with some of the middle teams and those low teams. So they have to approach each game with a whole lot of determination. That
And
hey,
that's
and
where we
do.
struggled last year, Bam. And that's the thing. Once we get through that period, we'll know.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is we can accumulate more points since we've cleared most of the difficult games. I don't think we have to struggle with Ipswich. I don't think we have to struggle with even Aston Villa. If they go into the game, they approach it with a lot of determination. Trust me, this is the right time for them to accumulate the points because this is the time everyone can beat Manchester City and Arsenal numerically are behind us. So if you approach the game and you continue to win and you win handsomely, obviously you are going to be out there. So I disagree with people if they said we are not ready. If you look at Leicester City back in 2015, the time people realized that they were into the competition, it was too late for everyone. And they went ahead to win the title. So nobody should write Chelsea off right now. If you do that, you do it at your own risk. And I strongly believe we've won some of the difficult games we used to struggle to win. So nobody should write us off. We are in the competition, and I probably think we stand a chance of winning the league.
Mm. Okay, let's hear from Bobby. But before we do that, coach, please stop timing. I didn't time you. I talk with the Bluetooth game. Realistically, I understand that Ty and Dante's point. Our squad is not anywhere near that level. I want to hear Bobby's point. Yep, we're getting to Bobby, and remember, I already said we'll have Bobby round off that particular topic. And see, nobody ever gives me credit here, even though I talked about this 10 times. Maya, give me tiny bitty credit, and you just chose Dante and Ty and not me. I'm gonna block you. This is just don't talk to me again. Rain, nice to see you, Rain. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. By the way, happy Friday, everybody.
What happened
Yep,
to
just saying
snow?
hello to each other. Mabaz. So let's hear Bobby's thought. Dante, what were you saying? The reason
What happened to the
why
snow? It's not raining. It rains turned back to rain. The
oh,
snow's gone.
he changed. Yeah, exactly. He's back to rain. Um, the reason why I say we are title contenders is because I feel like we might finish a 70, 75 to 80 points average. It is the right time, especially now, to nick points. I think probably, hopefully, the hope is that, yeah, we were facing beatable teams from now on till around January or when. Same with Leicester City is saying there.
Just with that, with the Leicester City thing, coach, everyone keeps bringing Leicester City up.
Some
Leicester
Leicester
City had,
City,
well,
yeah,
yeah,
2015,
Leicester City had
2016.
players in their prime. They were not a young squad.
Yeah. And
Big
Rain
difference.
thinks we're not title contenders. There were lots of experienced players at the time. Did you guys discuss how much O'Connor looked on the pitch over KDH at this stage? Maresca handling of Carney is criminal. It depends on his situation, but I think we should come back to that. And I know Bobby will have a lot to say. You mentioned one of the players he likes the most at the club, and one that he doesn't want at the club at all. All right, let's see. Let's get to or else. Okay, yeah. Calm down, calm down. Dante, your bro saying hello to you. There you go, coach. For the fact that you said we are title contenders, I am loving it, bro. No, but no. You can't change that. We're not friends anymore. Um, Bobby, coming to you. The title question. Did Bobby answer the other question? What was the other question, Ty? Dante, what was the other question?
Don't put too much on Bobby. One question at a time, coach,
Is
please.
it- Yeah, you're talking about the Mark Gue one.
Oh, I think Bobby he's spoken about Moggy. No, he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't. Okay, thank you, Ty. Bobby, two questions. One, Marguerite, how do you view his situation? Do you think he has a future here? or do you think it's a case of him going out on loan for 2 seasons and then he gets sold? And also, yeah, are we title contenders? I know exactly what Bobby's going to say, but let's leave it up to him. Let's hear you, Bobby.
All right, I'll start with Mark Gui. Mark Gui, well, he's left to be seen. There was a lot of promise in pre-season, but he's showing that he is a player in development. Will he go out on loan? Uh, he certainly will if we get a striker in. If we don't, he won't. It's that simple. Is he getting enough game exposure? I think he is, and I think so is Casaday. At that age and at that level of their development, they don't, contrary to what people are saying, they don't need to be playing high profile games every single week. And this is the beauty of the Conference League because it gives them an opportunity to play at a level which will help their development. And if they can, have the odd substitute appearance in the first team, even better. I think it's going very well for that sort of caliber of player at Chelsea. But if we do bring in another striker, then definitely he will go on loan. I have no idea what's happening with the kid we got from Villa. What's his? Is that not
Kellerman?
Omari Hutch? Yeah, um, Mari Kellerman, or he's the forgotten man, really. I don't know whether he's fit, whether he's
Still
still
out
injured.
injured.
Yeah,
We also have
crikey,
one
that's the
Jamaican kid. There is a Jamaican kid.
Whisper Richards.
But he's still
Yeah,
too young. Yeah.
Whisper. Is he up to 18 yet? If he is,
Oh,
he would be
he's
about the
past
same
18.
age.
He's past
Oh well,
18.
he's the same age as Gui. And he's another one in development. So Gui is fortunate to be ahead of him because each time I've seen him play, he's been very impressive to me. So there you go, and he's not even sat on the bench for the Caribou for the Conference League games. Although having said that, I haven't seen him for a while in the development, so I hope
You're talking
he's
Richards.
not. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
uh,
he picked up an injury, so he's still in rehab.
yeah.
He's injured, yeah.
I figured
Washington is
it
the other
is
one,
probably
Bobby, that's been playing very well and not getting a chance
in.
over Gui.
Yeah, well, Washington. Yeah, in the development, he's been beginning to show some form. But look, I'm never in a hurry with these sort of players. We've seen with Andre Santos that it's a good thing he's in Strasbourg, developing his game, slowly getting used to playing in Europe. Washington in the development team, I think that's only part of his development because being a striker in the Premier League is a whole big deal. It's not really something that just happens like that, as you can see with Gui. So, and even with Jackson. So, he's in process. Gui perhaps is quite fortunate to be where he is, and I think he'll continue to be there unless we get in somebody else. Now, moving on to what was this about winning the league? Uh, I think I haven't heard the Maresca conference yet. I was about to listen to it, but I've
I'm
heard
gonna
what
try
you've
and find
said.
that comment for you, but go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, if it's what he said, I think the guy's just keeping it real. He's not playing any mind games. He's just saying it as it is. And I don't. I think it's Dante that said, "Look, it's possible. Is it likely? No, it's not likely. We are a team in development. We're a young team, and I don't think that's our target at the moment. But if you're still in it." And football is a funny thing, I'll use a biblical term. It's not a respecter of persons. And, football's weird. If you're still there and it's like, say, um, uh, I think for us, a team like us, I would say April. If we're still there in April, you're within touching distance, you go for it. Because then you can start saying, okay, we're in the title race, let's try and make it happen. And stranger things have happened in football. So is it possible? Yes, of course it is. Is it likely? No, it's not likely. We're too young. We haven't really shown ourselves to be that team. But, yet again, people are saying Leicester City, Leicester City. I don't think it's a comparison, but people were saying, they're not that team, they're not that team. And then eventually they became that team. Um, so who knows? I'm not looking there at all. And I think any Chelsea fan thinking of winning the league right now is not really doing themselves any favors. Uh, Liverpool are in so much form. I can't wait for their injuries to kick in. But if you toss up and tell me who would you rather see the league out of Liverpool and Arsenal, it's a matter of what sort of poison would you like to drink? Would you like to drink the one that kills you quickly or the one that kills you slowly? I think looking at the Liverpool one, I'll take that one as the one that kills you quickly,
Hmm.
because as much as I hate them and despise them too, I would much rather. I think I despise Arsenal just that little bit more, and I don't want to see them basking in that glory. My goodness me, imagine what X and even the entire London atmosphere would be like. We wouldn't hear the end of it.
Yeah.
So, no, no. Yeah, crikey, these people had an open top bus for winning the FA Cup. What would they do with the blooming Premier League? I think they'll shut down North London. So, yeah, that's where I stand with that one. But
All
we
right.
shall
Just
see.
yeah. And just quickly, as we address something new that popped up there, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat, and we'll try to address it. Otherwise, we'll be rounding off soon. Or maybe if the panelists, any of the panelists here, has a question, fine. This says Saif Ruby has dropped his legal claim against Chelsea over the disputed transfer of Kodzuma to West Ham United. Okay, good news. So probably he's saying he can't win it, so he just dropped it. Anything else here? What's that title comment thing? I'm looking for it. I'm not sure I can find it, but let me try the best I can. Frank Lampard speaking about his second stint at Chelsea manager. Of course, he has to defend himself. He was babysitting, he said. Where is it? Where's the title thing? Enzo Maresca is asked. No, I can't find that one. I would just move on, but I think everybody knows what he said. But that's, by the way, anybody on the panel has any questions, we can, if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it and we'll try to address it. And 1 second, being in the title race and winning the league are two separate things. Yeah, that's simple, really. Fair point, Bobby. I appreciate your commentary on whether we're title contenders or not. If Arsenal are still behind us and City are in striking distance by the end of February, then we are in the title race. So I'm not going to argue with anybody right now. Coach Maresca has a 25-year deal for Chelsea. He isn't going anywhere. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think we've found ourselves a perfect manager. Under no circumstances can Arsenal be allowed to win the league. Whatever we have to do, whatever we have to do. London is blue and shall always remain blue. Even if they win the league, we still have 2 Champions Leagues over them, trophies over them, Club World Cup and Super Cup. 2 Super Cup, right? I think we have 2 Super Cups. Arsenal will win. It's too early. I'm not even sure Liverpool can win it. I usually don't make my predictions this early. So I need to see a lot more before I say, okay, this is what I think it'd be. Okay, let's see. That's how I operate. Anything else here? Expectations were top 4 and try to win the Conference League. As we can see, they passed our expectations. I believe they can go all the way. Yeah, I mean, try saying we can go all the way. Anybody on the panel has any questions for us, or if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, go ahead, drop it. Otherwise, we'll be rounding up soon. We'll be streaming for 3 hours and 33 minutes. Any questions from the panelists, or any other thing you want us to talk about? Something you from the manager's presser. Nothing that interesting, in my opinion.
No, nothing too much, coach. One little fun fact that I found out. I was just watching because I am in bed a lot, so I am bored. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube and stuff. And I was
You were
watching
watching what?
I was watching this fitness celebrity that goes around the world, just goes to the top fitness places in the world. So he went to this gym that opened up. Can't remember, in the States somewhere, where they have the most. The most expensive gym in the world, basically. So they have the most expensive machinery, the new technologies. Um, so yeah, I think it was like 10K a week to be a member or something like that. 10K a week or a month, I can't remember. It's the most expensive gym in the world, and I was just watching it because it was interesting. And what was funny that came up in that one, but in that gym, they were saying that the guy was saying, so who else in the world has this type of equipment like at the disposal for training? And he said there's only one place out there in the world that bought these machines that have it in their training facility, and that is Chelsea Football Club.
Really?
Wow, unbelievable! So they bought. We're talking about these machines that they're doing that cost millions and millions of dollars. They bought that for the Chelsea Football Club, the owners, to put into the gym, and we're the only
Just
other
to
gym in
have
the
the
world that
best
has that.
equipment.
The best equipment by far, like the new technology, the best equipment. We're talking about millions of dollars on like 3 or 4 of these machines. So yeah, that we're the only. That was I'm like, what, really? And I had to look it up, and yeah, that's the case. So yeah, thank you. Obviously, investing into the team, that's a big investment to make.
Hmm. Yeah, it is indeed. That shows you they want the best for the club. But of course, some would still argue they just profit focus. Even when that argument doesn't make sense, yeah, because you have to. It's a result-driven business. If you don't win, you're not going to make profit. We stopped
Yeah,
Swansea from winning the league, and we would do the same to Arsenal. I hope we can. Let's see what else we have here. Bluetooth game needs a bottle of Hennessy. Uh, loving the confidence. I give it to him. We can do it. I think we can, but will we? That's another question. There are factors that indicate, yeah, we may not be able to do it anyway. But that's not saying for certain that we cannot do it. I hope Maresca says no to Real Madrid manager role. I don't think he leaves. I think he's going to be here, in my opinion. Already thinking about the leftovers. I don't like turkey meat. Let me make that's one thing I hate the most in my life. I don't like the smell, irrespective of how you, except you can say the brand or the type they sell in Ajegunle, in Yaba with pepper and everything, more like pepper soup, but not the type of turkey in this country. I don't like it. So just leave me alone, Vic. Um, stuff as now by keeping them behind us. It's that simple, really. If they overtake us, I think it'd be difficult to overtake them too. Coach, I am thinking about leftover jollof rice. Yeah, exactly. That I can do. And we made a lot delicious. I made it actually. Dante, I did tell you then. I don't think he goes there. IB is saying I love what Maresca said. 100% agree with his statement. Deflect the pressure of deflect the pressure of this guys. Let it focus on City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. I remember Klopp used to do the same thing. Great move. Yeah, I like him. He always gives the measured responses during interviews and all that. So, anybody else, anything else you guys want us to talk about? Otherwise, we'll call it a day. I think it's been an excellent discussion so far. All right, I'm guessing nothing
No,
else.
pretty good.
Go ahead, Dante.
Covered everything. We've done a good 3 hours and 37 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. Excellent discussion. So with that, I want to say thank you to Mabas05, my Iraqi bro. IB, my bro. How you there? I appreciate you. Who else? And the blue Tiff again. Much love to you, my brother. Maya, the rapper. Much appreciated. I appreciate you, bro. One love. And who else was here? And also Constantine Dentu, the captain of the house. Sincerely do appreciate you, brother. I don't know how to thank you. With that, we've come to the natural end of this particular edition of the Blue Morning Show. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. If you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video, subscribe so you don't miss anything whenever we go live. And Ty, also the CEO of Chelse Session, he was here, still on the panel maybe. But yeah, click. I'll try and share the his YouTube credentials so you can go, not credentials really, link so you can go subscribe to his YouTube channel and help him grow. I want to say thank you to all of you. And if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Bye.
Take it.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn